Squirrel.
Hey, y'all. Hey, Spencer. We're swapped around again.
Huh?
We're swapped around again. Hold on.
Yeah, but I know you do it on purpose. That dang thing. I got to get rid of the extra time at the end of it. Are y'all, Abby? What are you doing here?
Talk to him.
Hello.
Hey, Abby.
I'm glad you're here, baby. You can be part of the show. Okay. So
she can't stay long. She got volleyball practice.
Volleyball practice.
Yeah, she had just had to come in here and say hey to everybody.
This is more important than volleyball practice.
I don't know. She's a pretty good ball player, y'all.
Oh yeah, you getting good at it, Abby?
Yeah, she's got pretty dang good. She's got her athletic ability from me. She can take none from her mama.
It's a good.
Yeah, I believe that.
It's my story. I'll tell like I want to.
Hey, everybody.
Well,
how y'all doing?
Yep. Sorry we were late. We were having technical difficulties over in Alabama at an undisclosed location that's just flat land. Between that and Joe and Pat getting into it already, we couldn't hear everybody else because they kept on going at each other. Y'all calm it down.
I done been telling her. I mean, I told her a while ago. She ought to be on the side of a hot chocolate box like Swiss Miss.
Swiss Miss.
Yeah, it's October 1st, y'all. I will be in my Halloween decor for the whole month.
The shirt's awesome.
You look like a chick.
Sheet. Shit to me, but sheet.
Oh,
sorry, Abby.
Her mama says worse. Don't worry.
Well, we might as well bring everybody on and get this thing going. So before we do, in the past little over a month, Misty, myself, and Mark Newbill were down at Greg's. Then we got to see like Coombo's, but we saw all that area there. Mark Green came up. And then Misty and the SAS group, and Sherry and Donna and all them were down there at Greg's. And they went down and saw Mark Green. Did y'all go anywhere else? Y'all went to Coombo's also, right?
Yeah.
And
well, we didn't get to go back later that evening, but he had like some kind of family emergency or whatever come up. But we did go and get to see it through the day, which, Sherry and him hadn't. So that was pretty cool. They got to look over the point.
They got them some giant booger rocks.
And then
yeah, and it's bigger than yours.
Yes.
Don't start. You had to bring that up, didn't you? Anyway.
Yeah.
BF Bud and Angie, his wife, and Pat and Joe, well, Blue Eyed Northern, and Joe Parker came down and saw Greg.
Yep.
And then they went to Mark Green's. And now they're at Flat Rocks. So with this amount of people down in Alabama, all within a relatively short amount of time. What? Shut up, Gary. Don't. I'm doing an introduction. Whatever, y'all. Hey, Misty, can you bring them on, because if I do, it like kills my microphone and everything. There's Mr. Green. Oh, look, and that's the rest of them.
Y'all.
Can y'all hear us? Joe, Pat, Flat Rock, everybody, can y'all hear us?
Oh, now we can't hear them. It was
Are they-
just working, y'all.
Yeah.
We'll say some.
Is Mike
Don't-
muted?
Say something.
The mic might be muted. We didn't do the testing 1, 2, 3.
We didn't have
Yeah,
time.
no, they were working fine.
Yeah, they were working a while ago.
Yeah.
This technology is something else. Huh?
Men in black done the hacking.
Yeah, they are.
How did that happen? They were working just fine before we did the intro.
Can you hear us now? Okay, you're going to have to go out and come back in.
Yes.
Same link. Same link. Just close it out and come straight back in.
Close the whole thing and come back in. See you in a minute. Mark, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, brother. I'm here. Y'all still hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
I can hear you good.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I-
y'all.
no,
I don't know the world.
Well, Mark, you've been there with us through the whole thing. I mean, like starting at Greg's and then the second time at Greg, and then everybody
Yeah.
coming this time. Let me ask you a question. Do you think that right now, this time of year, do you think it's a active time of year as far as boogers go and everything?
You can shut yours down.
Yeah, I do believe it is a very active
Can you
time
hear
of
us?
year. You hear us now?
No, what happened?
I heard Flat Rock just then.
I heard them.
All right, there you go.
There.
There
Okay.
we go.
Now- Yeah.
Okay, let me fix their mic.
I think I hit something. I don't know.
Yep.
Hold on
Got it?
one.
Hold on.
Yeah. Misty's turning your mic up.
Missy's gonna start doing sign language.
It's all the way up.
Okay.
Fly boy.
There we go.
Yes.
All right, y'all
Greg.
talk loud.
Hello, little sister there.
It's Abby.
Abby.
Hi, Abby from
Hey,
South.
y'all gonna have to speak loud because you're so far away.
That.
Okay.
Hi, Hillbilly. How you doing in the middle, Hillbilly?
Oh man.
We've had a great week for us because we got to see everybody in the state just about.
Yep.
And we envy you. You know, Spencer, we warned you here, but we just couldn't fit you in.
You,
We just couldn't. Me and Greg talked about bringing you in, but we just couldn't get you in here all at the same time.
Oh my God.
I know how.
But anyway, we've had a great days here. We had great days with Greg, great days with Mr. Mark and Rebecca. And Flat Rock, you want to lead us through a little bit of last night, or you want to go a little bit further back from that?
Well, let's start from last night. Yeah.
Okay.
Or you want to go back a little bit?
Oh, I want to start.
You
Shoot,
wanna
there's so
touch it
much that
toward the end,
happened.
we could.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, after we started the fire up last night, we were all joking around, and it was totally quiet. I mean, just totally quiet. No birds, no nothing. And Miss Jody, she wanted to do some harmonizing, and she got over there. Being a professional singer and a music teacher, done a tone that was really high tone. And we definitely got a really nice vocal right back from down there at the river. And that's one of the things that even happened last night. But we've had trees fall, we've had howls, other stuff we've had done happen, but it's all being processed right now on recordings.
Well, if somebody would have sent me the recording before the show started, we could have showed everybody Flat Rock.
Well, let me just
Need to know
say
One time.
it's been less than 12 hours since we made those recordings, and we had to collect them from where the various places that they were recorded.
That's no excuse, Jody.
I'm a bit of a professional with that myself, but I'm gonna say that yeah, you're right.
If you
Yeah.
knew what she knows,
It's a lot of work. You just tell him to hush.
It's a lot of work, right? Exactly. We have several different microphones and cameras in several different places here.
Yes.
So that's the good.
Yes.
Part of the reason why we're doing it in this order, like we're doing the show that we're doing right now while they are live at Flat Rocks, is because they're live. So Misty and Sherry and Donna and all of them were down at Greg's last week. But it does, honestly, it takes a while to go through the audio
Yeah.
and like the video and everything and look and see if you have something in there. So honestly, I was just picking, we're not expecting you guys to have the audio ready right now. It takes time. We just wanted to be able to talk to all of you while you're down there live. Bud and Angie, how has the trip been for you so far?
Oh, we are having a blast. Miss Pat is the best cook. And man, the stuff we've seen and heard, and I mean, just the goosebumps we've gotten, it's awesome. Freaking awesome. Cannot wait to go do everything.
I want to hear what Pat cooked for everybody.
A buffet of everything.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
Y'all, she showed out while they was up here. My God, I don't know how Joe don't weigh 700 pounds.
Exactly.
I know one thing. Y'all put away some coffee while she was there.
Hey,
Coffee.
yeah, I'm telling you, Miss Pat, she's like me. She likes some coffee. Everybody talks about having 1 cup a day. I have about a pot a day.
So do I.
That's right.
Well,
I
Mark,
think-
Mark,
Go ahead.
Mark,
The internet's going crazy.
It is. It is.
I'm
A lot of
telling you,
interference.
every time we do a show now, we've got complicated. I don't know what the deal is.
I do.
Wow.
I know what the deal is.
I think you're the one that started the link, so your signal is affecting all of everybody that's on here. Because
No.
you're the one that has the
They
link
God
open.
love us for this poor stuff. It's okay.
Heck,
Can't
by
hear
the
you
minute.
that night
Right.
again.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
get way down started on
Because
it,
we're
please.
so smart.
Yes. Like I'm telling you, if they perceive any of us as a threat to like national security, they're wasting my damn tax dollars.
That's right. That's right.
They're not listening to us because we're a threat. At this point, we're just entertainment.
Yeah.
Spencer, when you come down, Spencer, the further you come south, the easier it is to drive. Greg's is real rolling hills, mountainous areas. Mark's is a little bit less, and then Flat Rock's a little flatter down here even more. It's beautiful country. You'll enjoy every minute of it if you get to do all of it together like we did.
Yeah.
Hope you do. When you come.
I plan on.
Did y'all go to Gravity Hill?
No.
No.
You should check it out.
If
So
you
you
know
can
how
pull the
to, it ain't enough time in the day to do.
Gravity Hill.
I know.
No, we didn't get to.
We
but
didn't have time.
It ain't enough time in a week to do what we done. You know, we stay up all night and then booger. Kind of stay in the bed in the mornings and go right back at it when it cools back off.
That's the thing.
Yeah, it'll take us a week to recover from it. It did me.
Yes.
If
And I want to say this part, nothing to do with boogering, but we went up there to Greg's and he took us to the, what y'all call them, the potato boat or the potato log or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
We went there and got and you was well talked about, Misty, about all that. I don't know why, but the potato logs and all that.
You know why? I know they told you I ate a dozen of them. And chicken.
Yeah.
Technically 14, wasn't it? Yeah, Joe,
Dustin
Joe
took
and Pat,
notes.
Joe and
We
Pat
followed
went in
your
there and got us-
trail though. The
They got-
old lady cooking them was still kind of messed up behind staying up with your
Oh,
order.
they were delicious.
They're awesome. The chicken was great.
Yeah. Hey, Misty. Ask Miss Pat what she thought about my homemade sauce.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
loving that white sauce.
Yeah,
Yes.
I
See?
get potato dogs
It's
in that white
good.
sauce.
Yep.
You hear
I
that?
was dipping rolls in it and eating it. It's good.
It definitely was. I told Spencer, I messaged him. I said, I ain't dead yet. He said, wait, just wait a while.
Just wait a while.
Yep.
We
Oh,
had
Spencer
pulled
don't know what he's
pork with white sauce on it, Spencer. It was off the hook.
we had a ball.
You
Or my
some-
part of the way had a ball while y'all was here. Man, I wish y'all could have stayed longer. I know y'all had to get down there, but had a ball.
Well, that's the thing, though. If somebody could go to your place and stay for a week, 7 days uninterrupted, or if somebody could go to Mark Green's Spooky Mountains, stay for 7 days, or Flat Rocks, there ain't no telling what you would see, or hear. But between the drive and everything, it's hard to do and just stay somewhere for that period of time.
We haven't given them places a chance, Spencer, like we should have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yes.
We was at Greg's 2 days, and it just goes by. Then Mark one day, so I didn't give him any. Pretty much we was around the fire. We was listening and looking around the cornfield, having rocks or acorns falling, didn't know what they was, whether one or the other. We didn't give much. When we got here, same thing. It's just got 3 days to work with, but it's produced, and we've been lucky or good or whatever. What do you want to say?
Yeah.
Mostly, following Flat Rock's lead, and it's produced. We got nature hiking in. We got all kind of stuff in.
Well, Flat Rock played us, Miss Jody, doing the call and the response. And I told him immediately after hearing it, send me that email so I can look at it on the spectrograph, because that's impressive just audibly. You can't, we have no way to show it right now on the show.
Which one?
Impressive.
The second one.
So Spencer, can I add one thing to that? I don't know how musical everybody is, but I had a certain tone that I was using that I was copying from a previous, what Mark Green calls, what does he call it? The check-in or the
roll call.
Roll call. He calls it roll call when you hear the howl and then you hear the coyotes. So I basically duplicated that in one part of the night, and then what you heard was 2 hours later when I did something a little bit different. I did that, but then the next one I took the tone up. What's interesting about it is that whatever mimicked me actually mimicked the pitch when I moved it up, which freaked me out completely.
Yeah.
Because no animal is gonna mimic my stupid tones. It's not gonna happen.
She breaks it down into the syllables of when you learn your do, re, mi's and all.
I
way
changed
more
the
than what
pitch,
we ever even knew.
and
to
it
do.
mimicked that, and that's what you heard. And I'm gonna tell you, it was. I had some adrenaline.
And that little baby can move from them woods when they sound back too. She's over
Do
the
you
edge
hear
of the
me?
woods.
You might hear me cussing. I know.
Greg, she bailed from them
It's
woods.
exciting for
fast
sure.
and hurry, I mean, tell you.
Hey,
You guys were all like, "Go to the tree line. Go to the tree line." I'm like, what the
Fell for it the first time.
Go to the tree
She
line.
went right out to the tree line, gonna do her little yell.
I thought they were trying to get me snatched up.
And she didn't think they was gonna come back with nothing, and all of a sudden it was bam, bam, bam. And next thing I know, she right by the
It
fire
was like a
pit.
bomb going on.
Hey,
It's
I'm
all
on.
360 bomb.
Look, I'm on. Everybody, when they do shirts made, I've been saying this for a long time. On the front says Sasquatch Emergency Response Team, and on the back it says, "If you see my ass running, try like hell and keep up."
There you go. That was pretty good. I got
We
word.
did that last night.
Oh,
We're doing that.
I'd like to have one of those shirts.
Oh.
Damn right.
Yeah.
Let, let me
First
ask.
thing you can put on there is who's got the toilet paper, because I need to clean my drawers.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Fly came back. For those of you that heard Booger scream in person before, when the reply came back, was there any doubt in your mind that that was a booger?
No. But
We have more than one reply
yes,
at different times. You just heard the one.
and
Yeah.
from different
Yeah.
angles. But the thing that your brain does go into cognitive dissonance, and you're like, oh, how close are your neighbors, and who's screwing around? Well, who's going to do that at 12 o'clock at night when I just decide to do it on the fly?
5 minutes later.
5 minutes, yeah, not even. Less than 15 seconds later. How's that going to happen when he's
And it hit
Very
them
good
yesterday.
point.
yeah, and you're in the middle of 25 acres and there's no neighbors?
I want to add to this. That's not completely right. They, at the time she got a recall back, his brother stays about 50 yards over here.
Oh yeah, the call.
And then,
Oh,
then the man that owns the property adjacent, this whole land is sitting on, which his mother's got the back
Way up
part,
at the road, yep.
and then the man closer to the road's got a part. They're all calling him.
Right on
Within
it.
5
The phone
minutes.
is ringing, and I'm thinking, I'm in
What
trouble.
the heck? They calling him saying they're hearing this, they're hearing that throughout this whole. So I
Yeah.
guess it's around close to 10 total people. If it was more than one up front,
Yeah.
it's
They were all hearing it, yeah.
6 of us back here, 7 with his brother,
Mhm.
his mother's right there, and his mother came out and told her experience too.
Yeah.
That I don't even know if we got it recorded, but
Yeah,
I'm
we
hoping
did.
Yeah, we
did.
did.
Angie has it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got
Her
it.
mother, his mother came out, and she had just as much stuff for the time she's here by herself that nobody would want to stay in the woods down here by herself. It happened to her
Right.
because she was the first one to move to the back of the
She
property.
was the first one here.
It's
yeah.
kind of like Greg's place in a way. The front people don't have no experience, but the people to the back do. But they do hear howls and stuff. Flat Rock and them. I don't. How much have they seen up there?
They've seen boogers up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
drive
that's
in
all-
when he said when he drove in, you can see him.
Okay. But we this compound right here has people living on it. And then during the night when we didn't get them the second time she hollered, you could hear during the night these houses way away, the dogs going crazy. Then they might move over and they go crazy again. So we're assuming they moved off and do like they do, making a round somewhere. But we had some that was pretty tight to us right here last night, first part of the night.
Not yet. We ain't talking about that.
No, another thing was we were surrounded, and what we did is something weird happened the first time that Jody did her pitches. What was it in E?
I did it. I copied it, and then I think it's an E, and then but I copied what we had heard from the roll call.
Yeah.
Because I said,
Okay.
because first what I was going to do was sing some opera. Because when I was young and trying to get my full ride
Right.
to school, I used to practice out in the middle of 10 acres in the barn. And the neighbors would always say, what are you doing? All the deer are coming up through the, So I thought, well, why shouldn't I try it with this? But then when I heard the roll call, I'm like, well, I can mimic that. Well, you can mimic it, but my frequency as a human is here. Theirs is this. So, eventually they're going to figure out that I'm not one of them or whatever is doing that. So, anyway.
But remember what I told you.
Angie and I discussed it, and we're like, we're going to do this tonight.
Yes.
Period.
And remember what I told you the second time that she did that call, the one that you're listening to.
Yeah, that was the
It
second
was
one.
dead silent.
Nothing.
No dogs reacted.
Nothing.
And
Just a
then
woman house.
all of a sudden we got one single howl right behind us
That
that you
mimicked
heard
my step up. Yep.
that mimicked her step up. But the first time they were onto us. But the first time the woods exploded completely around us. One call, one in the middle, her exact tone. You
Mhm.
could hear it flatline right through there. you had Hal's behind us,
One
Hal's
that way,
on the
one
side
that
of
way.
us.
Yep.
They were all around us, and it was one big explosion. But the second time, complete silence. Nothing. Not a dog whimper. Nothing. And then we had the one howl, and it was a short one. That's the one you heard. Then after that, we had a weird bird.
Oh, very weird.
In front of us, right by us.
They came in, whatever
Right
was
there.
doing that came in fairly close to where we're at here. Another thing, the first night we got here, I want to say this. Flat Rock took us on a walk down this trail behind his house. He's got like a logging road that's been there a long, long time. It's kind of grown back up, kind of like your trail to the river, Greg. You know, it's kind of like that thing. It's kind of dim, but you can walk it, you know, in the middle. Pretty good. Trees overlapping a little bit. So we went to the end of it. Then we peeled back off to the right and walked through the woods on some trails, loosely speaking. And so we came around. So I got eye shine. I was leading the deal with my headlight and all. So we got eye shine just for a second. And they quickly, whoever had the tri-field meter.
That was me.
And they quickly throw the tri-field meter on, and it's spiking some kind of something.
Yeah.
And I only seen this like for just a second. It was like a little red eye shine. It was just like maybe one eye side, and so they're pulling their stuff out, and I don't see it anymore after that. It was like it was there and it was gone. We eventually come back through that area and go out to the road, make a circle. But for the people that use the tri-field meters, whatever that was, I can't tell you, but it was putting off some kind of reading.
Yeah, I put
to all that, and we did get that the first night, and then what we thought too in making that round, that kind of pushed them back for a while, because after midnight, Flat Rock, we go to bed 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Everybody's got it, but he's got it broke down quicker than we do because he's at home. He gets all kind of vocal stuff that's weird. I can't tell you it was all boogers by no means, but all kind of weird sounds throughout the nights going off. But at that time, I think they, took time and came back in closer. But we kind of pushed them back because me and Bud and Flat Rock went out, put out some vocal recorders, and we was in the woods over here. Then we went to the right of those woods and went out again, the whole group of us, and made a circle out in the woods and then came back. So down behind the house, we kind of pushed them back. But it's so thick around here, and it's got a lot of little bagels that dumps off down in the woods, and they just opened it up with tractors and stuff. They could come out of nowhere, and you just, circle houses and everything. They could come, and they do. I mean, they slip around all the time and do their little thing, whatever they doing. Flat Rock's dog, he's on the trailer right now. He'd be sitting there normal.
Oh,
He'd be
that is crazy.
piddling around, wagging and stuff, and he takes off like a bullet.
The nose
His
goes
whole
up.
body tenses up.
Yep.
Probably about
Eyes get real big.
3 or 4 times the first night, and 3 or 4 times last night. He would just take off to the woods, and a dead Flat Rock's doing all he can to keep him going out in the woods and getting killed or something. And then he'd be sitting, out of nowhere, he was just shoo,
and barking.
Growling. He's on guard.
all jacked up, ready. I don't know if y'all ever been on the campouts where somebody had a dog that was booger wary, savvy about them, but that dog is like phenomenal about picking up on something. Now we never got a thermal on nothing, but something triggered him, and it could have been a paranormal, but it was something triggered that dog, and he would just get up out of nowhere, and be off to the wood line.
Y'all had a thermal and didn't get it recorded. Oh my gosh, we're gonna,
Don't start with that.
we're gonna be,
Hey, I
gonna be
caught
kicked
that
off
one.
YouTube.
Wait a minute.
Don't start with that.
Wait a minute. We do have some evidence that it's been recorded.
You got 3 thermals.
And
We had 3 thermals.
And none of them were charged.
we had no less. Bud and them had out 3 cameras and a walk around camera that Angie was got. We didn't have no cameras, and whatever Flat Rock
Angie had to
We had
go
a
got,
thermal.
I don't know, but Flat Rock's recording all the time on audio and 24/7. He's recording around here, so we had quite a bit of stuff out that was pretty cool. That we're going to show you down the line, just to show you the picture we was seeing. Now we didn't see nothing run out in the yard work, as far as it would go. But
Right.
it was a good little old camera that you can get off Amazon for near nothing. That that he picked up on another outing that somebody showed him that we I mean, it was like looking out a security cam at your house or something,
Clean.
you know.
It was real clean.
Yeah, he
And
can
it
tell
was
us
pretty
about
cool.
it.
And and Angie picked up something on her camera
Oh,
when she
yeah.
was doing her
Yeah.
back up to Joey, Jody.
Yeah, because she went with me for that.
She was
first
backing
one, and
Jody
she's
up.
got that
That was
whole
backing
thing.
them up. And I was backing the fire pit up.
Well, he trying to throw
You
you
were
the
watching
wood,
the
but I ain't
game.
gonna let you go by yourself.
Yeah, that's
He was
right.
watching the game. You know he was.
Anyway, we got some pretty good stuff. They can discuss it, whatever they want to discuss about it, because Flat Rock got a good look of it on his stuff.
Yeah.
What they got, Flat Rock has a bigger picture of it, so he's able to see it.
Well, what'd y'all get? What's the picture of?
There's a video of.
I seen
It's
a
a
glimpse.
Video of
Video.
eyeshine.
I seen a glimpse over Flat Rock's shoulder of a red-looking eye, and it was like, did I see that? Didn't I see it? Did I see it? And so I didn't really say much about it. So wasn't but a little bit. You got to think we're in a fire pit right behind us here. It's right on the end of Flat Rock's house. Right behind that is a vehicle park, and they took bush hogs and went around his mama's place. I don't know if it shows it on satellite. But they go around. The whole thing has been kind of bush hogged out, thinned out, and whatever it was, it came up from, I guess, the west of us over this way.
Where there are no homes.
And
Right.
and so Flat Rock's sitting there, and I'm looking around at Flat Rock, and I see a red eye looking deal come up behind him, out there a ways. It wasn't right behind him, but it was his direction. And I just seen it for a second. It's similar to one I seen the first night, and when they come back, they come out of the house and she's getting a card and putting in Flat Rock's computer. We got eyeshine. I said, well, what was it? I said, I seen a little red deal right behind you. Flat. Well, sure enough, that's where it was. What they had was back over there, close to his mama's utility house. They got a picture of the utility house's light on the front of it, and the eyeshine's just to the left of it, kind of like down a right side of a fence line where they bush hogged it open. And we found a track over there that's, I can't,
Possible.
it's a possible. That's just what it is, hard ground, sandy around here. But anyway, found a track over that way. But their camera and what I seen lines up pretty perfect as far as that. But they got blinks on what she's got. She's got blinks going off.
Yeah,
Really?
whatever this was moving back and forth while Jody was down there doing her calls, and it
Yes.
act like it was pacing.
And they were
And
bird
we've got
calls
the
that
eye shine
night
constant of it
from that area.
pacing.
But it was close. It didn't do all that hollering.
This
If
was
it did
close.
anything, it was Flat Rock pointed out, we don't have birds in the nighttime, does it,
Yeah, it was
chirping.
Pretty
But it was doing like a
substantial,
little call of some kind. And
What
that's
kind-
the same thing. He
what
hears
kind-
doves at night. Well, doves don't low at night.
Like dove?
Morning doves and stuff. Any of them that do that lowing business for, trying to draw a mate, they don't do that at night. And
Right.
he hears that stuff. He's got it recorded.
That's what I focus on is either
Play
I
sound.
didn't
play
ask
sounds.
you if that eye shine time was that from the first time we did or the
second time. When you
Okay.
when
time.
when
It was
So
a
we
bird.
drew it up the
It
first
was
time.
it was where the direction of the bird.
yeah
Okay.
you
Yeah,
had
I
to,
saw
right there.
that. I
You-
saw that.
you had to reply
Right.
and then the bird call.
But I'm
Right.
gonna tell you, Spencer,
Right
just
afterward,
talking
on
to me
the
and you
opposite side.
and the gang there. When his mama comes out and tells a story for no reason,
Yeah.
and she tells what had happened to her before they got to move in down here, and before the woods got cleaned out, and the stuff she had going on, pretty much seals the deal. We had stuff going on here for a long time, and the place was. Describe your place before y'all bought it.
This place used to be a wood mill about 50, 60 years ago. And after the wood mill become a private hunting club little place. Nobody's lived here. This we're the first people to ever live here. There's Indian mounds on property. When they sold it to us, they told us, straight up, don't leave your garbage out. Don't leave, any kind of food out. And basically that was it. Just don't leave food or garbage out. We bought the land on cheap, $2,200 an acre, and that's real cheap, and so yeah, that's how we come about it. But nobody's never lived here. We're the only ones that ever live here on this property.
Tell the backstory y'all having to leave from down yonder too. That's what people don't understand.
When my mom left?
No, when y'all had to leave out because of what happened in Florida, Panhandle.
Oh yeah. Well, when we bought the property, we was all gonna move up here, but right after the property, is when I got diagnosed with cancer, and that was a 2-year ordeal. And then when Hurricane Michael come through, my brother, we ain't got my brother up here, so he'd keep eye on Mom because of what was happening with tapping on her window and banging on her house. And so after Hurricane Michael, when the hurricane basically destroyed my house, that got me up here. I get me a new home and all got up here, and that's how I got up here, and I got introduced to this stuff. But like I said, I never knew that these things were creatures doing what they were doing. I just thought it was either paranormal or just normal nature, but it's not. It's not. It wasn't. I did not believe in them at all. Under no circumstance did I believe in them.
Well, let's since we're covering your place now while you're live and everybody is there, but the tour de force started at Greg's. So can we kind of back up and let's talk about when Joe and Pat were at Greg's. Did anything happen there while you were there?
We had audio, but nothing like what Michigan. According to Greg, it was nothing like. Maybe was you there last time too, Spencer?
No.
Or was that family? Okay, nothing like they had. And we stayed there a couple of days, and during the daytime when it was warm out, he took us and give us tours of the place and all, and he has some wonderful looking areas, and he showed us where lots of the.
Greg's the best tour guide in the world.
Oh yeah.
But at the man cave,
him and Mark Green
we had
both.
some sounds, but it wouldn't know. None of them would, and we heard stuff scamper across some of the tin on the place. Can't say what that was either. And I never thought and never realized people in North Alabama had so many storm shelters and houses related cellars and what we heard this sound was down by his cellar underneath the hill from the man cave. Well, you know what I'm talking about because you've been there.
Yep.
And I never knew it was like, the Oklahoma of the East or something, as far as bad storms and stuff. But they got some of the finest big mailboxes up there too. That you ever want to lay your eyes on. Right across from Greg's house is a big mailbox thing. But at Greg's, compared to what Misty and them done, we had a light dose of whatever was going on. We didn't see anything with eye shine or we didn't get out like they did either. As far as we stayed there pretty much and hung out with Greg, make sure he was comfortable and we was comfortable and wasn't use getting him out on his foot and all that, moving around too much no more than we already was.
Right. And I haven't had a chance to go through the audio. I did put audio out. So I haven't had a chance. We've been on the move. I even put audio out at Mark Green's. There was, some suspicious stuff at Mark Green's as well. When we were sitting around the campfire, we were out there till like 1:30 in the morning. And we're just dropping the trailer here, basically visiting, going to bed, getting up and going again. So in 1 week we've been in 3 different places.
Basically just beefing up the economy on gas.
So basically what y'all were saying, y'all just stopped at Greg's and Mark just to rest up because the main the main thing was to get to Flat Rocks.
Kind of, but
The main goal was the Flat Rocks, but we wanted to
you come too
visit,
close to
say
people,
hello.
and we just set it up to where we had the time to do it.
I know. I'm
But
just
we
messing.
Right.
could have took off 2 weeks ago and been at Greg's. I told him really, really, to be honest with you, Spencer, the next time all of us sitting here will see y'all is at y'all's outing, wherever y'all decide to have it at. Honestly speaking, that'll probably be it. I mean, it's just so hard to do things. Y'all know how it is, and I'm sure y'all got smaller stuff to be done. But everybody in chat on this screen, I'm hoping we'll all meet up somewhere and go over everything and be able to talk and do what you do.
Don't
and
you
even get out a little bit if we can.
Don't you think though this is just like this typical Bigfoot stuff? You load up and you make plans and you go somewhere for 2 or 3 days and you hope something happens in those 2 or 3 days.
Yep.
Right.
A lot of the times it does. Sometimes it does. And that's why we collect evidence like this. I mean, we got howls, we got the tracks, we got the eye shine, we get stuff like that. But it's just, unless you're living there or staying there long term, it's really hard to collect anything that's really impressive. That's just the way it is.
For us, it's like a deer going on 3 deer hunting, trophy hunting leases. Greg is the guide up there. He knows what's going on up there, so we rely on what he's got. Because the traveling guy don't know nothing unless he's been there before. The traveling family don't know nothing. We go to Mark Green, same thing. He's a hotbed, so we rely on what he's got. Same thing down here. We rely on Flat Rock, and they all three's got booger in places. There's boogers running around there, but for the outsider that's not doing this, you got to rely on the word of mouth of the people that's invited you over, and you spend a little time with it. And fellowshipping is a big part of it too, that y'all talk about all the time, and we talk about it too. It's more to boogering than just out there, just on nose to the ground. Yeah, you can be that way, but sometimes it'll get to where it's monotonous and it's hard on you recuperating and all that stuff from travel and all this, that, and the other. But we have enjoyed ourselves. We got some boogering done, and we got some fellowshipping done. And it's all been a package deal to have, for fun, to do some stuff we like to do.
I'm just afraid you guys are going to spoil Angie.
Oh, yeah. Well, another thing too, what we're doing in the process is, you think we haven't been listening to what you have to say. We've been gathering information. And what we do is we take that information and different things and ideas, and we implement, different areas. Just like with Jody, we used her gift, which is professional training.
Her lungs.
A singer, her lungs. What is she?
Lungs McGee. That's what we was calling her.
Yeah. What is she? The songbird of the South.
Songbird of the South.
Nobody's never broke it down into, the scales of the music.
I don't know that anybody has or not.
Nobody we know of has broke it down into that. And I know everybody's got to talk about having good calls and stuff, but she's put a method to it a little bit different than what I've heard, and we got to witness it last night.
Yeah,
and it's pretty unique.
I think I'm gonna go kind of like, we talked about Mark Green and how you do it once or twice. That's it.
Because they're hip to you, just like Mark said.
If they don't just react, then they're gonna figure out, hey, wait, those frequencies aren't right.
Yeah.
Just like we do
shofar.
when we listen
Remember
to stuff.
what we talked about, the shofar?
Yes.
That we talked about megahertz and the pitch. It was an experiment, is what
There you
happened. That's what we were doing.
I think that's a great idea, like trying to process of elimination, see what works. That's great. Mark and Greg, just so you, while Joe was talking, he said they were counting completely on you to produce results because you guys know your area. Whenever he said get anything there, he's kind of blaming that on you. I just want to Yeah.
Look, I took them on a award-winning muscadine expedition.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Did y'all see Greg's muscadines?
Now we seen them, we picked them.
We got a
really?
whole cooler. We got a whole cooler of them, and we took a
I
bunch.
felt like being led into the valley of the lions or something with that deal.
Yeah.
Though.
Retire.
Are they,
Get them up there, Joe.
are they wild?
No, but I
Wild
mean,
muscadines?
no, he's
They're
got
just bigger out.
planning one.
Wow.
But Greg used us for cheap labor to try to clear some of that up.
You're like migrant workers.
That's it. That's the word. That's the word right there.
Yeah.
He's got more going the way. There'll be drunk animals leaving there. Time all them. They're just clusters. Y'all did not get none when you was up there, or they wasn't right when you was
I think
there?
Misty got some, didn't you, Misty? Where's she at?
She kicked it. Yeah, they gathered some. They didn't get a whole bunch. Sherry and Donna and Mr.
We
Jim.
got, I don't know how many gallons we got this say, but say we got 4 gallons or 6 gallons, and we give Mark and them
Oh my!
around 2 gallons. I don't know how much it is. And then we're trying to take home and get them home about 3.5, 4 gallons, just say, enough for her to play with some jelly.
Yeah.
And Greg, how much
I didn't
wine
get
you
any,
got
Pat.
out
They
of
picked them
the
before I got there.
What's
Oh,
that,
they're-
Joe?
How much liquor have you, or wine, or whatever you made off of that?
Well, I hadn't made any in a long time, which we got restrictions here in this dry county where I live. You can only make it legally if the fruit is grown on that parcel of land. And I have made some. I haven't made it in several years, but I think I made 5 gallons. Dad made 5, and you're limited on how many gallons you can make at one time. But yeah, it makes great wine. Golly, it's good.
Then Angie and Bud come from Ohio.
And I'm telling you, it has been worth the trip. We have had so much fun, and what we've experienced,
Right.
way more than I expected.
And people, they will go to Florida on this stuff. They'll from Ohio to Florida. They're just about going from one extreme to the other. And far as they've went all over, enjoying this life of different things. And you much know, y'all probably met them in LBL and stuff.
Yep.
I know Mark met them just briefly online when we was up there. Y'all were up there, rather.
This little group has known each other for about 3 years.
And we met all on a camp out.
Yeah.
All met on the
Mhm.
camp out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, we met Flat Rock.
All of us met at the same
Tennessee.
time.
We all
Bud
met at the
Angie.
same time.
Jody, me and Pat,
What you
Mo,
Squatchy
Cowboy.
Mo's, yep.
we all met them on
Connor.
an outing, and we all become friends.
And Connor, yep.
Well,
Connor, too.
it's like what you were saying earlier. If you're doing this just to go out and find Bigfoot, you're going to be sorely disappointed.
Correct.
You need to be doing it where you're going out with people that you like and trust
Yeah.
and have fun with and everything. Because that's really the main part of it, is hanging out and the camaraderie.
Yeah, if it ain't no fun, you ain't gonna do it.
No,
No.
not very long.
We just got a benefit last night. We had a great time
Yeah.
the whole day.
Yeah.
Got a bonus.
Flat Rock was so hospitable. He took us to dinner.
Yes.
Best place I ever been in Alabama. And
We got to see a werewolf yesterday, too.
oh yeah, I guess it is Halloween.
We're going down the road, going to, what's that town that we went to?
Castleberry.
Castle-
Oh, we went to Bruton, but
Bruton.
that little.
We're going to eat at Bruton. So we're just going down the country road. We're just getting it. And all of a sudden, they slow down in front of us saying, what's wrong with them?
They start pointing.
And Pat and Jody can't even talk. It's a werewolf thing on the side of the road. They can't even talk and tell me what it is.
We're both yelling at the same time. I said, "Dog."
So we had to wait till we come back and we all got a chance to see it. And Jody got a chance to film a little bit of it, which is pretty neat.
It was
It's
ugly
It's not a
statue, but it was ugly. It was pretty spot on. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
from,
almost like somebody saw the thing.
yeah. It's like they got a believer in the camp over there somewhere.
Mark,
It's
You-
fun things like that. It's like
Mark,
y'all get into.
you and I got to take over the conversation because Joe is talking about werewolves. We got to change the subject.
Yeah.
So, but
Flat out.
right. But what we did is what you need to understand is
How do you
we
boo?
took a little bit of what all of you have to share and offer
Yes.
and tried to implement it here.
Yes.
Like Greg, I discussed with them your story about the motorcycle, and we asked her to do a higher pitch.
Yeah.
She did it. Another thing that we learned off of this too is you can only fool them one time.
Yeah.
You're not going to
Yeah.
fool them again.
Right.
Yes.
And
They may react, but then they're
Do
too
it,
smart
shut
to
down.
not.
Greg knows
even
himself.
the dogs shut down.
Well,
Greg knows himself. You can't call him deer, but so many times we're grunting and rattling. The
You're
same,
right.
if the same ones is here and it come in,
Yeah.
turkey's the same way. If you get one call shy, he just that quick. He's not going to do it. Once he figures it out one time, he's not coming to that in that area.
Yep.
hey,
We might could have went down the road and done it again and got a whole different bunch. Or
Yeah.
He did wait 2 hours between the two
Yeah.
times that we were doing it. So
Well-
just to see.
go ahead.
y'all, just something that Joe was just saying. I know from personal experience at LBL, like once they figure out it's you, because at LBL, if you do the right call, they will answer back. If it's the right time of year and everything, they will respond back. But once they know it's you, they're going to quiet down. I think everybody can vouch for that, agree with that.
Sure.
My
Yeah.
question is, are they getting quiet and then coming in to see you,
Yes.
or are they
That's how-
going,
It
or are they
appears
going
that-
the other way?
That video.
Yeah.
It seemed
Well,
like they
yes.
were curious last night.
It
Very
seems like the only
curious
call
last
they
night.
come to all the time is the non-call call, like us giggling and laughing by the fire, or you having
yeah.
something go on, frying fish in the yard or something. The non-call call works more than anything. Just sitting by the fire, that's why it
Yeah.
works. It's
Yeah.
just,
Right.
Just
sitting
Exactly.
on Greg's back porch,
And
and they by the
Right,
fire.
yeah.
You know, it's the reason why we don't get a lot at Greg's. He didn't tell you, but we stayed up to 4 o'clock in the morning every morning. So whatever could have been on the recorder, we was probably drowning out talking and having a good time. It's a reason why things. I mean, I only had a little 3-hour span that we wasn't up till daylight already broke.
Yeah.
So
There
you
is
know that kind of thing does play into that.
there is a lot of chance that at both Greg's and Mark's, the reason you're not getting a lot of vocals is because they are already so close to
Yep.
that. They don't want to do a stream and give themselves away. That's
Correct.
why
Exactly.
you get a
We were
lot.
talking about Mark's trees being so thick, and them jokers could have. And oh, by the way, at Mark's house, Rebecca's daughter came out. I want to say that part too. A
Yes.
big part of our fireside chat that night. Mark's daughter came out, and she told her experiences of the house next door, and it's kind of like Greg's place, his brother's house to his house,
Yeah.
man cave, about that far apart kind of thing, Spencer. Which you've probably been down there, so you know what I'm talking about. It's just beyond the rabbit pens. Her yard is,
Yep.
and she had, I don't remember how many different accounts, but real good ones, better than most. That that was that was their daughter done. I mean, right there, and had them looking in the window. And I don't know if you got told all that stuff, and if it's already been told, but it's always good to have multiple people in the same area with the same kind of issues, because it just ain't one person losing his mind and hearing or seeing something.
Well,
it's always good to have 2 or 3 people there, or whatever.
But
So
that's the same way as it is here with Flat Rock's house. They got a whole, 25 acres of different little compounds, and everybody's in agreement.
you're gonna bash on somebody, but are you gonna bash on their mother and the landowner and the brother,
The friend.
the friend? I mean, you got a whole array of people in a lot of these cases. It's the Gregs really, if they're paying attention, it's probably how many people on that hill.
Well,
There, it's
my
you
brother.
and your daughter there.
Well, it's me, and I mean I'm here a lot, but like my brother, and my sister-in-law live in my mobile home over there, and then the guy next door is him and his wife, and they got a son that's about 12, and then his other son that's grown, and his wife. So that's it.
Right.
But it's
And
enough there to have. If they were paying attention, they could witness everything you witness and have the same story within an inch.
well,
Yeah, a lot of it. People are oblivious to it, and they're not paying attention. They just write it off as just a night sound.
yes.
Oh, but now they don't like them coming up here and beating on my wall and slapping the porch post, and they don't have that encounter there. And I think I've got another idea in my head on what that boils down
I'm
to.
scared of stepping on something around there.
Yeah.
And if you and Mark Green at Mark's area, Mark, how many neighbors do you have within 10 miles or so of you that have personally told you that they have suspected stuff happen at theirs?
Oh Lord, that's a bunch of them. I mean, if you really get in a 10-mile radius of me, we're already talking about 10 to 15, 20. I mean,
Yeah.
off the top of my head. I mean, that many.
And
Because,
that's
I mean, it's like a trail around. It's just like a radius. I can go over here and I know this person, this person, this person. And then I got them right here in my neighborhood. It's within a half a mile of me, 3 people that, well, one lady seen them. The other couple hearing everything, finding the tracks. And then her husband finally gets a glimpse of one standing in the woods. And then there's another person over here. They're hearing howls late at night. They haven't seen nothing, but they're going like, well, these howls don't sound normal. And then you go toward the hunting club, which is only 2.5 miles away, and everybody that lives on the south side of that mountain that's had all up and down that paved road there has had stuff happen. So, I mean, and then we're not even talking about Chillisburg and Sylacauga. So,
Right.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot going on in this area. And,
In a roundabout way, if you want to compare things, Mark has got the most fertile ground with rabbits, chickens, birds, garden, ponds for water, fish for food, ducks for food. He's got the most fertile ground for any kind of omnivore, whatever you want to say. The next would be this place, opposed to Greg's, because Greg's is more of a camp house, and it's more. They don't grow gardens right there. They ain't got chickens hanging off the rafters everywhere. But this place here's got a little bit of everything too, kind of like Mark's. It's not just like Mark's, but it's got some garden spots, and it's got this and that. It's got a lot of thick places too. That's a big part of their lifestyle. Yeah. And so Mark and Flat Rock stuff is a little more compatible than Greg's is. Greg's is terrain, wilderness area, all that rolled into one up there. You know yourself, Spencer. And it's kind of the population at Greg's is least amount of the 3 in their little area of Alabama. When you get down to Sylacauga's the bigger city than Evergreen is. You know, they got more capita in that area. But really, Flat Rock lives just a little bit more out than Greg's original house. And it lives about as much as the man cave is away from anybody else. Flat Rock lives out. There's still people around, but they're not right on top of one another by no means. And Mark lives close to people, but yet he's got a lot of wood lots all around him. And it's got lots of places for them to hide and travel. And if they are the bunch that goes back and forth to the mountain or part of that, they got to be certain places they cross in that highway or underneath the highway or something.
Well, Greg's got creek. Greg's got creek and heavy forest.
Yeah.
He's in the national
where they're
forest.
Able to go back in the natural forest.
Greg,
now, I can
waterways.
I think
Greg,
they might
river right there.
Exactly right, the waterway. But
And
I think we might be all in agreement here that, like last night, is yes, we experienced the vocals, which I don't get a lot of that in Louisiana.
Not at all. Just
But
like you, Spencer. Go ahead.
Yep.
but anyways, I think we might be all in agreement here that we were being observed last night, and closely, and they were in close. You could tell because if I walk back over here to the command center to go get something out of inside or whatever, or they're getting something over at their tent or what have you, we'd hear the sticks and the stick breaks. We knew something was right there, is what we've been experiencing.
Well-
And the house that we were getting on some of these, they were very close. And this isn't, now Greg and Joe and I, this isn't our first time here. And we've experienced howls here before. And I can tell you 100% they are here. 100%, even more.
Something that comes into play with like Flat Rock's location, Mark's location, and Greg's location, and something that comes into play with Misty and the group that she had down there the last time with her and Sherry and Donna and her sister and y'all, is that number one in all three of the areas, and I hate to go into the supernatural thing, but just you got to point it out. The whole thing about they know when you know, the whole thing about they're familiar with Flat Rock, they're familiar with Greg, they're familiar with Mark. You're talking about years of interaction between them. And also with all of the groups that have been going down there, a good half of it has been females. Like whenever Jody did the call and got the pretty good response and everything. So you got Pat and Jody and Angie down there right now. And these are, they appear to be fairly active right now while you're down there or whatnot. Whenever Misty and all of them were at Greg's, there was a lot of females there. Plus Greg's wife was there. I think your daughter was there. But I'm just saying, if you average up all of this stuff, they know the spots. They know the people that they're dealing with because they've had interactions with them for years. And then you have a group of individuals coming down that are actively looking for boogers, and half of them are female. It just seems like a perfect storm. You know what I mean?
Well,
Yeah.
hold on. I got a question. I actually wanted to ask everybody about that.
This ain't OnlyFans. Go.
No, seriously, like that's what I was wanting to know. What do y'all think about like them recognizing you? Like, I swear, whenever I went to Greg's for the second time, it was almost like after I was there talking to him outside for a few minutes and went out and sat on the porch 10 minutes. I hadn't been out there. I started hearing monkey calls. I mean, it was there's so much up to like this thing. I already knew that I was there.
I know that the place we go to.
I can't hear you. My internet.
Okay, now I do what I can speak on it, and I'm sure Angie could, and Jody goes by herself a lot, which I have a problem. We have a problem with that. But the place that we go to, it's a case of almost like an unspoken or a mutual agreement. I know, you know, because as soon as we get there, and I even question, I'm still up in the air because I'm not getting the vocals. And I'm questioning if it's supernatural or what have you. I agree on that. Now, Angie has had experiences up where they go as well. And you tell them about that. And are you getting more experiences? I mean, are you in more interaction each time you go?
It just varies.
But you can tell them the growls and stuff that you've been getting.
Yeah, I mean, I've had, and it seems like you get more experience like if they take off and leave me at camp alone. then that's when I'll start hearing a knock here or a knock there, and they get back, and then it's dead silence. So, I mean, I don't know. It does seem like they want to reach out and communicate more when there's a woman alone.
Yes.
Yeah,
We
that
agree very much, Misty.
what y'all are talking about there, guys. That's something that it worries me about some of these groups that it's like a bunch of ladies want to go out by themselves, no man at all. And I got that. I mean, girls, that look, y'all brave. I ain't taking nothing away from you. I'm just saying I don't think it's really wise if you're doing that, because it's a whole different can of worms.
Well, the same thing happened to Misty whenever we were down there and we left and Mark went inside.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, same thing when I leave for work. They come up slapping the house and then
Right.
going over to my daughter's house when she's just there by herself. And that's a whole different ball game right there.
Yep.
I think you're right. I tell you what, if people don't know Rebecca's daughter, and I'm not good with names, so I can't think of nothing.
Ella.
She's got better actual stuff than Rebecca does. Lately, anyway. She's had stuff that nobody, peeping Tom, boogers, and all that. You know, she told us about. Mark was there, and we was there, and Rebecca went in. It's that little girl's been turned upside down or turned into this world, and she bought, she lived in an apartment or a house right there, and didn't have her own
Sorry,
curtains.
Pam.
Next thing she knows, they're looking all in the house.
Flat Rock's mother had several experiences, and she wouldn't stay here by herself because at one point she was here by herself and left. And that's when his brother had to come up here and stay. But they were looking in her window, beating on the house. It was scaring her. And she was alone up here as a woman by herself. So, same thing.
That's the one that followed her around for 2 years out here.
Yes.
So it says David Hughes asked about if I'd ever used C. No, David, I used E above middle C. And then when I did pop it up just a little bit, I used F sharp, I think.
What about giving up your secret?
Yeah. Sorry, trade secrets. My manager says.
Settle her down over there. We didn't let her cat out of the bag.
Too late now.
Well, too.
The thing about it is, if with her voice training, she could take your call and make a better one than you can.
I tried.
And being a female too, so it's a double.
I do try to mimic it.
Being a female and doing a call, number one, I've seen.
It's been off the chain all these years.
I try to put as much into that, much power and frequency and duration as I absolutely can. I'm a retired singer. I don't sing anymore, but I mean, it is a little challenge. But I'll never come close to the stuff I've heard on some of these recordings, especially the stuff that Flat Rock has. Never.
The one time at LBL that Barry Browning did almost a pitch perfect booger call. I mean,
what this was. Yes.
We have a call that we do. It's called the 3-syllable call or the 3-part call. And Barry did it in a way that the hertz range wasn't the same and the duration wasn't quite the same, but the signature, the way that it, pretty much the length of it, the space in between, and the tone, the modulation going up and down. He did it as perfect as any legitimate, legitimate booger call I've ever seen. And whenever he was done, it wasn't even finished echoing before they started replying.
And that's pretty much
Barry's
what happened
got a singing background, don't he, Spencer?
He probably did do opera at some point. I don't know. I'd have to check.
I'm talking about he might have been in a band or something, or somebody was talking about one of them guys.
I don't know. I thought you were just messing around. I have no idea.
No.
Well, what's really great is she is actually an instructor.
Yeah.
So
well,
and had all that background and training, so it makes it a little more
In a booger.
interesting.
He can hold his wing
Um,
longer
The
than
point being, though, maybe we should,
Yeah, wait a minute.
maybe we should get Jody some of the calls that worked, that we know that have worked, and
Try them.
Right.
she can
I'd be
practice.
up for that. Practice them and get them. Yeah.
Yeah.
She works.
My neighbors might not like it, but
Guys,
Strictly on
you might-
trying to match
If
it
you-
up.
If you do the call right and get them coming to your house, you might not like that.
well,
Ask
well, I live in North Georgia, so what do you think?
you're in North Georgia, you're gonna have an issue.
Yeah.
Jody, what are you close to in North Georgia?
I'm sorry. But
What area do you live in North
I
Georgia?
live between Dawsonville and Dahlonega, right in foothills.
Oh my
Really?
god. Oh my god.
Wow.
Right near the Etowah River. Yeah. Right. I'm 20 miles from Suches.
Don't do the
Wow.
Close to Cheryl live to it.
Don't do it.
No, look,
Close to Cheryl Corntassel live to it.
Especially because I'm up there by all these guys. They live in Southern Ohio. I'm from Northern Ohio.
Right.
And my first experience happened way up in Michigan. So, but none of these guys are close to me, and my friends aren't going to go boogering.
well, you're gonna be probably about 4 hours from me.
Yeah. Well, I don't even think it's that far, really.
It,
Well,
it
maybe.
may not. Which I know I can be in Dahlonega, which that's with 2 kids and the wife, and we got to stop at like every 14th store you go by. But we can be there in 4.5 hours or so in Dahlonega.
you
Okay,
are
it takes me 2.5 to get to to Silcaga.
I'm trying to get her come to the outing too.
you
Yeah.
are good. I hope you do, but you are within 1 hour of some areas that a lot of people I know go to without trying to say too much on here.
Where I
And-
went.
Right.
She's been there
You're
already.
within
They've been there already.
You're
Some dummy drove through some of those areas by herself one day.
Right.
And
Wow. balls out the window as you drove through.
I did not. But I recognized that I needed to come back with somebody the next time. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
She knew. She
Because
knew.
just the vibe in those areas is.
She knew right where I was when I told her
I
where I
called
went.
out right where he was at. I knew exactly where he went.
The world's a lot smaller since of this stuff, since the YouTube and all that they used to.
Internet, yeah. But Dahlonega, well, after COVID and then me busting my leg, we hadn't been to Dahlonega since 21. But me and Wanda, since we've been married 27 years, but we always try to go about twice a year
Oh,
to
you
Dahlonega.
need to give me a.
To go to what? But
Yeah, look, and
It's 8 miles. I'm 8 miles from Dahlonega.
oh wow. See, look, do you know, have you ever heard of Yehula Baptist Church on Yehula Creek?
It sounds familiar. Yes.
You look it up. Yehula Baptist Church was the first Baptist church in Lumpkin County, Georgia.
Okay.
And my either triple or quad great grandfather was the first preacher in that church.
Oh,
He helped establish the church and helped get the church started, and was the first preacher that they ever had. And he also, his son was killed. Now listen to this. I think he was my third great granddaddy. In 1857, he was killed by a lightning strike in the church yard there at Yehula Baptist Church. And he was kind of like a county commissioner. He was addressing like a group of like 150 men of Lumpkin County, telling them what roads needed work, this and that. He was telling different groups of people what they needed to go do, because that back then in the 1800s, that's the way they got the roads worked on. Well, anyway, he was kind of like a county commissioner for Lumpkin County, and him and his best friend were standing under a big oak tree in the churchyard, and lightning hit the tree that he was standing under, and it killed him and his best friend.
Oh man.
Wow.
Yeah, but my family's got long back ties.
you've got a long history in Lumpkin. Yeah.
Yes.
Welcome yours.
There you go. Eat you up.
And what's that last name? I've been doing my history. I'm a history buff.
That was my dad's mother's people, and their name was Lance, Lance.
Okay.
Yep. But if you go to Yahula Baptist Church on Yahula Creek,
Yep.
it's just out of town, just a little. If you walk through that cemetery, I'm probably directly related to like 80% of the people buried there.
I'll be
I-
darned. Small
Just-
world,
Cool.
isn't it?
That's cool.
Just
I
a
love
question.
that history. I love that history.
And tell her she's not supposed to go out boogering by
I won't go
herself.
by myself.
No.
I fought with
Don't
her
go
for
by
3
yourself.
years over this. 3 years.
I have a question for Jody, Bud, and Angie because I don't really get to talk to them very often.
Right.
Have y'all ever, just by chance, just got to ask a couple questions? Y'all ever been struck by lightning? Have you ever had supernatural experiences? You ever seen ghosts?
What is that?
10.
Oh, I was at board. Okay,
Okay.
on the board.
Oh,
Wait.
sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, we're all jumpy as heck here. What was the last part? Struck by lightning. What was the other part?
Struck by lightning, seen ghosts or anything supernatural, seen UFOs, or died and been brought back?
Oh, yeah, you better take this one, honey.
Go for it.
Well, I mean, no, never been struck by lightning. Don't really mess with paranormal. Scares the crap out of me. What was
UFO.
UFOs? Not to my knowledge. And yes, I was dead for about 3 minutes and brought back.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Motorcycle accident. Dead on the scene by
Wow.
trauma arrest,
Okay.
and they were able to resuscitate me.
Spencer, how many people do we know that fits in that category?
But no, I
Getting
have.
up
I
there.
don't remember anything about it. I don't remember seeing a light. Nothing like that. I wish I did. I wish I had some cool stories, but don't remember a thing about it.
Yeah, for me, Spencer, I've been hit. Well, I was on a golf course and lightning hit awful close and knocked the golf club out of my hand. I've seen a UFO. What was the other one?
Supernatural
Yeah,
or
I've seen
died?
ghosts,
Supernatural.
but I've never died. Came close a few times, but I've never died.
Jody, take.
He was in wartime activity overseas too, though.
Yeah.
Spencer.
Oh, this is scary right here.
Yeah.
I'm
You shouldn't ask her.
I'm highly intuitive. Let's put it that way. I had an accident when I was a kid. I don't know if I died or not, but it was not good, as I had told these guys.
Well-
And the lightning. That's a yes. Actually, I forgot about this. If this counts, when I was a kid, tornado was coming, and I ran in the house to turn on the radio to see if there was a warning. I was just a little kid, and when I put my hand on the stereo, my mom had was really nice, expensive stereo. Lightning came out the top of the roof of the living room, went right down into the stereo, and I zapped my hand. So I don't know if that's close. I got zapped.
Mine happened to a telephone.
And have you ever? What was
I've
the
never
other one?
seen.
I've heard it through a
UFO.
telephone.
Did you get
UFOs.
struck
Yeah,
with
I was into that when I was a
whale
kid. Yeah.
No.
I
Oh,
died because
Wait.
I'm looking at the sky.
Wait a
I
minute.
know.
There's
I
Flat
think
Rock.
Bud did.
Yeah. Flat Rock, did you just say you got zapped by lightning through a telephone?
yeah, I was on the phone. It was one of them hardline
That's not
phones,
supposed
not
to
no
happen.
cell phone.
Yeah, myself too.
Yo, and I was sitting on the couch talking,
And knocked
and
it
next
out of
thing
my
you know, lightning struck, come through the phone, popped me on the side of the head, knocked me across the couch.
You sure that when your mama did that?
The way you said it.
So
Wait.
it surely happened. Sure did.
Spencer,
It'd be more and more people showing up with this, Spencer.
It's her too now. Go on,
Yeah,
go.
yeah, no. I had the phone knocked out of my hand, and I couldn't hear for probably 2 hours. And
Well,
outside the whole outside of the house lit up a neon blue.
Pat, are you saying you got hit by lightning too through the phone?
Through the phone, it knocked it out of my hand, and I couldn't hear for 2 hours. And stop! Book dog's digging.
You can dig your
It's
china, ain't gonna pull off.
And he's throwing dust all over us. And the whole perimeter of the house lit up like a neon blue for a few minutes as
Really?
well. Yeah.
That's it. That's right there. That's
I'm
it.
the only sane
Down in
one here.
Florida. Down in Florida.
That's
You're
scary.
the only same one, Joe. Hold on.
That's
Hold on.
scary.
I'm the only
Let me
one.
ask y'all, Bud, Angie, Jody, Pat, and Joe. Let me ask you just one more thing. No, shut up, Joe. You're included. The ability to just be more sensitive, empathic, psychic, just more sensitive in general. Have any of y'all ever experienced anything in your life where maybe you had a premonition
I
of
had a whole yeah.
dreams?
I had the 9/11 premonition. Big
Really?
one. Yeah. And with the singing, I think the reason that I was successful is because I could, you know, the voice is good. It was big. I mean, for a tiny girl, it made a lot of sound, and I could sing higher than everybody. But you have to have the ability to give yourself emotionally, psychically, electrically, you know, physically, what all the things. You have to be able to put that in a tone and be able to give it to the audience. Otherwise, it's not worth doing. Really, it's not.
She's also a teacher and teaches that skills and all too, so she recognizes that.
You guys free to
Move, Spencer. Yeah, thank you.
Bud.
She pulls up for a minute.
Bud,
And I am too an empath.
Yeah, Pat's
What
very
now?
Does psychopath count?
And psychopath. Sometimes psychopath.
Oh, wait, Pat, are you saying that you have to pick up on Joe's emotions and his thoughts?
I can. When
I feel.
Well, he needs to pick up more on mine.
Oh, this,
Ain't that
Woodwalk
all, man?
Learning as we go.
Look at
What
that
about-
hammer
as we
here,
go.
boy.
about Bigfoot. We're about like
All my
relationship.
feelings are shot. I have no pickup ability. I'm like a stump that's ready to be burned out of the ground. You know what I'm saying? No feelings, don't know when to keep quiet, none of that stuff. Shut up, Spencer.
I would imagine being in the military, you'd have to really be able to hone in on your.
You're
Yeah,
trying to
ability,
pair everybody
exactly.
with Greg. Why are you doing that?
I'm not.
No.
Nope.
Far too high.
I heard the lightning story when we was on the Grand Tour. We heard the lightning story from Greg.
It's not a matter of comparison. It's a matter of just taking an average overall.
Agreed. Understandable. But like I said, if it wasn't for channels like yours,
Remember that?
we couldn't enjoy getting out and meeting all the people. Oh my goodness, it's Michael Haywood. Hey Haywood.
Greg.
He's
Brother
yeah,
Michael.
we talk to him during our road trips all the time.
And
On the
home,
phone
too.
and at home. Him and Joe stay up all night talking along with Greg and BF. I go to bed on them all.
Greg and BF mainly. Michael does go to sleep now, but
I
BF and Greg and
We talked
myself.
for 6 hours that one night, all of us.
We beat your record, Greg. We went 6 hours with BF. We
Y'all,
never across the same subject too much.
That
Hey,
don't surprise me. I let everybody down. I go to bed at 11 o'clock.
yeah.
It surprises me, Spencer, when you do a midnight pop-up show with Greg and Misty. I'm thinking, how's he doing it? Because I know it ain't in your character to do it. Be up
You know-
that late, that is.
He tells us we got 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So
Oh, and he can't wait to get on. Oh,
Whenever-
they're on. They're on. Hey, they just went live.
Not only that,
Spencer
caught
just
us-
went live.
he's caught us at least 3 or 4 times with this. Spencer, hadn't you learned we can't hear nothing on your phone? Get that recorder and just play it back over your phone. We can't hear the owls or the boogers or
Shut up, Mark.
stuff. Did y'all hear that?
Oh my.
Fun
It's-
little Spencer
It's
remarks around on these videotapes. If they don't get dubbed out, I can left you some special remarks and special things at Greg's. If it ain't been told, we got some stuff for you, Spencer. I don't want you to feel left out.
all right. y'all probably y'all got better stuff than I'm getting around here for sure. But in my defense, I don't think they vocalize very much in my area.
Agreed.
I don't think they do in ours either.
Well,
In ours either.
We're in your camp with that.
Well, Spencer, try this a little bit. Yo, when Jody was doing her vocals last night and got that response, and I mean, personally, I wasn't expecting that response back, but I'm glad
None of
she
us
got
were.
it. But
None of us
after that, I focused on, also when she got that response, right afterwards, she got some bird response.
At midnight.
I was going over Bud's and Angie's footage a little while ago, and right where that bird was chirping at around midnight last night, that's where we found that eye shine. Exactly where that bird's chirping at around the same exact time.
Now,
It was immediately after. It was just like
Just a few.
well,
Yeah.
how
Well,
many
you can-
seconds
You
after
can hear me on the video
So,
going,
the
really?
scream.
So focus
I couldn't see
focus
them
on
little-
things that are out of place.
I couldn't even see them little fine glimpses.
Even though
I couldn't see
Women.
them. I couldn't see them last night. I got that one big exposure, and then after that, I really couldn't see it.
even though birds don't do calls, well, most birds don't do calls at night. Be quiet. Be quiet. Even
Thrushes and whippoorwills
Fired
and
up.
at night, if there's
owls.
a predator right there, don't start. Look, Mark, look at this shit that you have recorded. And you're missing out on a valid point that I am trying to enlighten everybody with.
Go ahead, brother. I've just got to have a little fun.
That's
Even
right. That's right.
Don't do calls at night. There are some birds that do calls at night,
Right.
but even though most don't, they will sound off like alarm calls if there's a predator right there in that.
Okay.
So what you're talking about, where you saw eye shine and suspected something right there, it might be a booger, but it might be a bird going off too, because there's a booger right beneath it or something like that. So keep that in mind.
Agreed.
Well,
Yeah, it's a
Agreed.
line. It's
It
a
was
line.
all in that time frame. We were all standing there. Well,
Me and Joe was at the fire.
Yeah.
yeah, Joe and
Did
Flat
y'all
Rock
remember
were at the fire,
that
and
one
it was
time
Angie,
last night?
Bud, Jody, and myself. I've got a flare going.
I had the GoPro going.
Yeah.
She had a
Yeah.
GoPro going,
I had to
and
try
that's
to-
where she
And I
caught
had
it
my
with the
mouth
GoPro, and it was right after.
Look at him.
I mean,
I
here's
said most birds. Shut up,
birds.
Noble.
Right.
I said most birds.
Yeah. most birds. But it was really funny because we started. It was the way it sounded.
it just sounded like it was
It's
bizarre.
yeah, and we started laughing.
I
And she
laughed.
said, "Oh, really?" And I even made a comment.
Yeah, you
She
can
said
hear us on the
best you can
video. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're going,
it's the
are you
best you
kidding
can
me?
do.
This is what you're gonna throw at us? Because and when I got back up the hill, I could see that Flat Rock was like, yeah, that doesn't sound right at all. I mean, he lives here. He knows what that stuff sounds like.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
You know, and I don't hear birds like that. I thought, well, did I disturb it in some way? Did it?
Right.
But I know you guys see it is in the line, but the eye shine is back at the thing. That bird was close to us.
And that was the first bird sound we heard the whole time
No,
we've been
we
here.
heard nothing the whole night.
But Spencer, for the people listening that want to do it or are doing it, if you hear something normally you ain't supposed to hear, be keen about it. Be listening. Chances are, like you said, it could be that just that once in every
Right.
now and then time that something does it. But most birds has probably got an alarm sound that they do, not just a chirp, chirp, chirp.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, they,
Right.
one night we had audio at the pond, and you could plainly hear a wading bird get up squawking, and something boogered it. It wouldn't have got up and flew in the middle of the night for no reason. And if it was up a tree, same thing. It would probably stay put. Most things stay put once they get up and roost.
That bird sounded like it was on the
Look,
ground.
porcupine made it. Go
Who was
away.
that? Oh, Larry Porch made.
Yes.
Is that what you call it?
So is
Pork
there?
chop, he called them.
We're looking forward to putting
Right.
this information together because I
It's
do
going to
want
be
to get people.
awesome once
Yeah,
it gets all.
I do want to get people's opinion because
Well-
in my mind I'm thinking, oh look, the coyote just it mimics me. Is that going to happen?
No,
Songbirds.
we will be able to tell on a spectrograph, Jody.
Yeah.
We'll be able to
That's-
tell.
And I have an audio background, so I'm hoping I don't have that stuff anymore. I have a minor, all that, but I'm hoping that somebody can really take a look at that and say, hey, yeah, this ain't right.
Yeah.
Because it certainly didn't feel right.
I'll tell you another thing, Spencer. Being around power poles and lights
Yeah.
has a lot to do with what birds, cut up
Yeah.
all night. What
Well,
don't.
Well, but we have speculated about boogers, though. Underground water sources,
Yep.
quartz,
Right.
granite, power lines. How many times have you heard somebody talk about like a power line clearing and seeing a booger out there?
Yeah.
Right.
And
right.
oh, I mean, again, not to get too far into the supernatural area, but again, if you don't start thinking about all this stuff and comparing it, like what I was just asking about, like, have you seen something supernatural? Do you have any reason to consider yourself psychic or empathic? Have you what? Y'all hear something?
No,
hear
we
sound,
were-
sound like almost like a siren.
Yeah, we just pick up sounds. We pick up things. Our ears are on alert.
As a, do y'all have a recorder going?
Yeah,
Okay. His
Yeah.
brothers.
yeah. It is at a distance here.
Yeah, and that's another
We
thing.
recognize the sound.
All the people on this in this complex, nobody really gives a crap what we're doing here. Which after last night, when I did the first call, I don't think you all realize how loud I am.
It was like
And I'm like, somebody's gonna bitch about it. I know it, and then when his all the way up the front, when that guy called, I'm like, oh, that's it, I'm out.
they're packing. Well, let's get packed up.
It was nice.
But they were. Did they call about your sound or what they were hearing?
No,
They
were
called
about
because
about them
We
owls.
woke the
He
forest.
said, "Did you hear that?"
Yeah.
He
We
wanted to
woke
know.
it
He
up.
asked him if did you hear that?
It was.
He heard it on the both
I
sides. where
cannot
we
describe
was
to you what that felt like in 360 because that's exactly. I
Yeah.
felt like I was at one of those theaters where everything's all the way around you.
One thing too, y'all need to pay attention about is in the daytime is crows.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, they're fighting with hawks or falcons or stuff, but a lot of times crows are seeing something and they're carrying on about it, and they really carry on a lot of time late in the evenings, right before dark, about something. And I've noticed that here a lot lately around my place. These crows get tore up about 6 o'clock about something,
Well,
and so
what
I would
Mark-
start paying attention to crows.
what about Mark? This morning, like as quiet as it was last night, them crows woke me up at 7:30. I was wide awake because there
It's
was
your
so much
time out.
noise out here. I couldn't
Right.
believe it.
In the evening times, Mark, last 2 evenings to, I don't know, which way is that right, John? Is that north pretty much?
Yep.
Kind of north, maybe a little east of where we sitting right now. Right before dark in the evenings, you hear the crows. Were they going to roost or what? But they've came in, they've been vocal a little ways away both evenings. And whether boogers was coming that way or not, we can't really tell.
Yeah, but the water is that way. Comes
Yeah.
in that way,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
rivers.
Rivers
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah,
Straight that
exactly.
way.
River
I just
and a lot of
assumed
springs.
water.
But the acorns
Yeah.
are falling here good too, and they might be just going to going to roost. I don't know, but we got a lot of things happening here. Is ahead of y'all schedule up there, I think, by a little bit.
with
Yeah.
the acorns
Yeah,
and stuff.
already falling here. I noticed them all over there. We was walking.
Y'all watch these comments. Look at these comments. Haywood. Oh yeah, I'm playing berries next. Look. Okay. Nose picking marathon. Look at this is
Nose picking marathon.
Hey,
here's Barry. I'm out. I lost to your mom. Her and your sister are in the finals. This is what we have to deal with the comments.
hey,
That's a good comeback, though. You got
Spencer,
oh man.
long as you remember the golden rule, You can pick your friends, and you can pick your nose, but you can't pick your friend's nose.
Oh, that's right.
And no eaters in the bunch.
No eaters.
No eaters.
Stopped in to say hi for 5 minutes. Bye.
You know, Jody was supposed to be on her way to Georgia right now, but she ain't come out of here yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna be getting home at 10 o'clock tonight.
She has to go to work in the morning.
Yeah, my
Hey, we've been on for an hour and a half or so. What would be nice? What would be nice? Yeah, Joe, it happens like that when people just keep talking. But anyway,
Shut up, Spencer.
what would be nice is if we could do like a part 2 once we have looked at all of the audio,
Right.
and we can show everybody, because it's more impressive if you have the audio or the video to show.
Great.
I mean, let them make their own opinions, but at least you can say, here, this is what we recorded. This is what we captured and put it out there for everybody.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that we were able to capture something that's worthy of that, and I think it is.
Oh, for
I mean,
sure.
I'm skeptical as all get out about everything.
It's no doubt, Greg, and it's no doubt, Mark. If you could have turned this in the loose at y'all's houses and probably not get put in jail over it, that we would have heard something way back or real close from the forest, one way or the other. Now, Mark's a little bit different because he's got a lot of wood lots and a lot of houses around him, but Greg's man cave on top of that hill, there ain't no telling what we'd have heard if she'd have been cutting loose.
We were getting 3-4 second delay here.
But
I was blown away.
You know,
beautiful.
You put that equation in, I don't know, but Greg don't want that going on. But it's no telling what we would have heard.
Well,
if we'd have moved over a mile or two and then done it. But anyway,
reason.
Just being quiet and just waiting on something to happen.
We
didn't build a fire at Greg's like Misty and them did. We didn't have the attraction or laughing. I mean, we pretty much stayed up on the porch with Greg that night.
We just wanted to stop by and visit and say hello.
Man,
Was our goal.
It did get cold, Misty. When it late, about 2 o'clock, you had to get some clothes on. It was getting cold.
Yeah,
Well,
we enjoyed having y'all. Ain't no doubt. Enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
We was glad to come, and we had great hospitality at everybody's places.
Yep.
And hope we didn't run nothing around everybody's places, but we have enjoyed every place we went, and we hopefully down the road we might make a return. Just like I say,
Had a ball.
if we can set something up coming back from LBL, we may come back to y'all's place. I don't know yet, but ain't a whole lot of reason not to.
And the invitation is open for you to come to
our
our side of the world.
Well, we appreciate that. Spencer, what we need to start doing is getting people that may be interested, sure enough, interested in the meet and greet to give us a hey, we would really probably try to come or something where we kind of get a roundabout. I know it ain't gonna be even close, but a roundabout head count on for sure how big a place we're going to have.
Panama Joe.
Yes, thank you. It's about time, Greg. I can't get Spencer to do shit. You think he down? He's on me to get it going. But
So here's the deal with the meet. At this point, the meet and greet has to be in the spring. We're looking at location. We've got one that's like our fallback location. We've got 2 others that we're looking at right now. But if you're on the Woodwalkers Facebook page, or hold on, there we go. Or if you're not, you can email us. But if you're interested in going to the meet and greet, now this will be a meet and greet for not just Woodwalkers, but also Cedar Creek Bottoms. So Mark and Rebecca Green, Beast, the Beast page. Larry and Mark will be there. At least that's how it stands right now. The Stats group with Misty and Sherry and Donna and all them. So this is going to be a big meet and greet, but it's going to be in the spring. And right now we're just trying to find a location, everything like that. And we're trying to, it's very difficult. I got to move that because I can't see anything. it's very difficult to find a place that is big enough that we can rent, that's secluded, that's also in potentially boogery area or whatnot. But if you want to, hit us up on the email or on the Facebook page
Can't
and
help you.
that you're interested so we can start putting together a number of people that are going to be there. And there's back to just say the family. The family, yes. Well, I mean, it is the whole family. At this point,
Billy.
we are Billy. We're like we're a coalition or something.
We put the fun.
And it's
We
not even
put the fun and functional and dysfunctional.
It's not even about finding a boogery area. It's been really hard to find a place big enough that they'll allow enough people or vehicles.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to get Jody some audio so she can start perfecting the booger calls, and maybe maybe come out there and meet us and do her professional musician like lightning struck.
Well, that's
Get with my manager, Miss Angie.
That's right.
Wait a minute.
We pimping this out, Spencer. Sorry.
Yeah, we're pimping her out.
Oh, man, that's Flat
and I are
Flat Rock's Flat Rock's gonna come, and everybody can talk to Flat Rock. Say yo in person one time.
Yo.
You know,
You gotta get that
Joe
right
does
now.
a very good impression.
that Misty come up with all that mess.
And we're gonna have Pat cook for everybody.
Oh, Lord. Oh.
Hey, keep doing it.
We're already gonna work up a guy.
Hey,
already.
Y'all, I can't
Guys.
imagine what to get cooked up if we get Sherry, Misty, and Pat.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's what I'm saying. Let
That's how you do it.
let the professionals get to cooking. Misty will do her witch magic and make tinctures for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, tinctures and
BF is a good guide, so there we go. We got it all the bases covered.
We know Bud. We're waiting for Bud. First of all, y'all, just so you know, Bud. Well, I've met Bud and Angie, but Bud went to Snellgrove Lake, which I can't talk about right now.
Snail grove
But-
to you, Flatlander.
Bud went to Snellgrove Lake, and if you like Quest or Doug Highcheck and the boogers and all that kind of stuff, Snellgrove Lake is like that's the holy land, supposedly. But Bud just went there with Chris Reinhardt, Highcheck, a few other people. He can't really talk about it right now because he had to sign stuff because it was all like recorded and non-disclosure agreements and all that kind of stuff. But Bud and Angie both, even though I only asked Bud, but Angie, you're coming too, are going to come back on and do an interview on Woodwalkers here in a few weeks. Hey, Bud, I know you can't go into the details, but like, did stuff pop off at Snellgrove Lake? Did you have some stuff happen?
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. But the thing I liked the best was I learned a few things, tips and tricks, and especially the cameras. I bought a couple of them cameras for me and Angie, and we're implementing them here. And
we're
Pat
getting
and
them.
Joe and everybody seems to love them, and they're
We're gonna
awesome.
get 'em.
Yeah,
Fabulous.
yeah.
Yes.
Excellent.
Misty, we got to get Spencer a Sacred Dakota ring. He's about to wig out.
Way to go, Greg. Give it to him, Greg.
And Spencer, there's this lady. She's a nurse. She listens to your channel all the time, but she's never in chat because she always listens to you on radio. But
Yeah.
I want to give her a shout out. Her name's Kim, and I also want to thank Scott and Shayla Granger for letting us go out there in his research area. And
Oh, look,
showing us what we had up there.
that's twice now. Flat Rock, we're going to get sued, Flat Rock. Are you not paying attention? You're throwing stuff all over the. A lot of y'all are not going to understand this, but you will eventually. Look at Flat Rock. Scott and Sheila Granger, I had them lined up before or for the weekend of Father's Day. and I forgot it was Father's Day, and I had to cancel with them because my wife and my kids would have murdered me.
Oh,
Oh no.
Yeah, and so I was like, guys, back on later. I love Scott and Sheila Granger, and I would like to go do the watch fishing thing that they do. I'd like to go on that.
Yeah. Sheila's all time posting some good stuff on Facebook or something crazy or something all the time, you know.
And they were in. I was cooking dinner for Mark and Larry at a campsite in North Georgia, Jody, really close to where you were talking about while we were out there looking.
I can make some guesses.
And we found
Y'all don't have to tell nobody we got an insider on that too.
thermal. It's really close
All
to
that
you.
old brother-in-law crap y'all pull, we through with all that. We're keeping her under our right. No more of that crap. You take your secret handshakes and calls. No secret handshake crap.
We got secret everything. You're just jealous. You're not in the know,
Don't
Parker.
worry, I got the little ace in the hole right here.
Right.
While you thinking how to call, she be done called them out on you. That's the difference between professionals and amateurs. I tell you that.
Did Judge
get blown out of the water, but the professionals know how to do it.
going after the money. Huh?
did Joe just call me an amateur?
Oh, mate.
That's that coon ass.
Yeah, you're amateur. Tell him, Greg. It's a difference in a marksman and in a jake leg shooter. Tell him, Greg.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when you shoot them there at 400 yards and you shoot them at 350 and they're running and you shoot one time and you fold them, that's different than just a whole volley of ammo slinging that way and a dog finding an acorn, you know.
A dead deer is a dead deer. Shut up.
And he's shooting one of them old syrup bucket shooting guns. If he had a real good gun, I don't know what he'd do.
Well, Greg was supposed to sell me a real good gun a few months. He keeps quelching.
I told you every time I ever think about start getting separation anxiety.
Don't show that boy nothing. He's up there hearing them boogers up there by his house. And him and his little
Oh no! Here
little
we go.
big shot self with that cigar in her face. What is that all about? Little big shot.
Spencer.
That's his favorite word.
This is why you can't have Parker on very often.
Right. Agree.
You want us back?
You
You
just
sure
figured
you
that
want us back?
And you see,
I wasn't gonna speak unless everybody got a chance to speak. Remember I told you that? They just got me out of it.
yeah. Hey,
We're waiting on Michael Haywood to get over here
That's
too.
right. Oh,
Spend
God.
time with everybody.
yeah.
That's what we want.
Just do a Michael Haywood and Barry night.
There
That's what
you
you
go.
need to do. I don't
That-
care Bigfoot's in the subject
Yeah.
or not. They might talk a
Yes.
little bit about it.
Need to get Wood and Browning on both at the same time.
I'm telling you, that's
That's
what you need to do a show of that. If not, an after-hour show, so the kids won't be up.
Right.
Oh,
What is that?
It's a brainstorm. I just give you another tip.
thank you,
We
Joe.
go types.
Joe, I appreciate you.
Oh Lord.
What he said?
He said, "Oh Lord."
Oh Lord.
I'll do it.
That would be if you'd only see Michael Haywood on video, you'll be tickled just to see him. He's a card though. Good Lord.
I just want to see.
Carry on.
I just let him and Barry go at it.
That's what I'm talking about. Just stand back, get out the way.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey,
Spencer.
by the
Good
way,
choice.
y'all don't know about this, but one of our highlights was it yesterday? We had championship dog wrestling with Flat Rock.
That's right.
With what?
Pay per view, brother. Pay per view.
Oh.
It was
We could have sold tickets.
a melee. And Flat Rock wanted a couple managers to get in and help him. I said, hell no.
Everybody's just
Hurt around that shit.
I come around the
I
corner.
wish we could have videoed that
Oh
stuff.
my God.
Poor Flat Rock's on the
Oh,
ground
God.
with the dog. Oh my
I
God.
know my eyes is that big.
Tell him what happened,
They had a
bud.
lab and a bulldog
Yeah.
going at it, son. I mean, they were going at it. And I got my lab, but damn back legs trying to pull him away. he pulled them front legs into the ground, pulled my ass almost up under the table.
I come out, there's a dust cloud everywhere. I mean, you can't see nothing, but here's Fletcher. I got around with him.
Wait, he's got his back end, and
you guys are just like he's got some kind of disease. They backed up. They're like, oh no.
Well, somebody told you to help, and all you had to grab was his back legs on a dog that ain't yours. But you do it.
Everybody in YouTube land understands the 1 minute with all of them talking at the same time. That's what it's like sitting around at camp with them.
Well, nobody was laughing yesterday. We was all concerned. Flat Rock's shoes flying off. All kind of shit. He's walking around on the ground over in some little cut off stumps with a dog. And they fighting underneath the table. And it's just a melee going on. Bud and Angie's over. Flat Rock says, I need a little help. I got a collar on up.
I was on top of the dogs.
Yeah.
That was under your leg at one time, wasn't it?
And the bulldog's got the lad's face in his mouth.
Oh,
yeah.
I come around. She
Rock's
got
her
her whole face on top of Boo's, just completely open. I'm like, oh, take that.
I kid you not, too. It was at least 200 pounds of dog there.
Yep.
Yeah.
At least 200 pounds.
Yeah.
Them suckers are thick around here like ice chips coming at
They
you.
are thick.
It was a pay-per-view event.
Well, hey, y'all, can we, after we get the audio and the video and everything, can we maybe get a few of y'all back on and like go over it and everything?
We
Yes,
got a
sir.
little Patreon you want to hit up there.
There is no Patreon.
Patreon, we might get started. We got a group account. We got to get going first.
This is from Joe, who the last time he was on was talking about getting like corporate sponsors. No,
I'm still looking for them, Spencer. They just stay
Spencer, on the download, they send you the audio. We'll send them some covert pictures of Misty's feet.
Stop it. There are people watching it.
Oh, me.
Hey, Greg, you might get to buy that place if we play that stuff up there all the time right there by your man cave. They may move on out if you play it a little while.
I don't know. Misty's frozen.
What are you doing?
What is she doing?
She's meditating.
I'm not keeping that signal, y'all. It keeps going out. Why did you put me up like that, Spencer?
Hey, y'all know what you couldn't see? She had her fingers out in front of her like the
He was.
I don't know what's going on. I'm freezing up.
She's like she off a hee-haw or something.
She was
One of them little.
He was completely in like Lotus Trend meditation.
All the women have blonde hair like that.
Hey, she keeps wearing them wigs like that, or her hair done like that.
I don't know what y'all are saying, but like
She's like stale cracker. Got it.
I can't hear anything. Like literally, it's. I'll be dressing up all this month. It's
all this month. Oh wow!
I can tell you this.
I'm allowed to do that.
Because the other show, she's in a formal dress. None of this is showing. She got makeup all prettified and all that. Does your show? She's like, get the hay, let's go.
Thank you, Jeff. We're being ourselves.
This ain't professional enough. Bama's gonna tell us.
Look, Haywood. Look, here's
what is Haywood? We need you, Haywood. Come on, you and Barry, Lizard Leaf Town.
No doubt.
Lizard Leaf Town, Greg, Barry, and Haywood. That ought to be pretty good.
That's a show on its own right there. All right,
I'm telling you.
See, I'm still
Dog fights over here might be interested on Friday nights too. Friday night dog fights with Flatwood. Flat Rock.
Yes, Friday night dog fights.
The bigger the dog, the bigger the fight.
Would you call that?
I
Wow.
know Flat Rockers give out more than dogs.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's
Would you call that like K9
Good
WWE?
Lord, he got to get a collar on them things or something, man.
There's no collars.
No
No
collars.
collars.
At least
Y'all-
get a shot collar or something. A punch.
Hey, y'all notice that Mark Green's been quiet the entire time, and he is shaking his head in disappointment at all of y'all's outlandish behavior.
Yeah.
Not really.
I did scope what was left of the cornfield. I didn't see anything, Mark, that night. Sometime during the night when we was around there, I did look at it with thermals. I didn't see anything.
Yeah.
Mark,
I've been instigating on here.
Down though, that had all the stuff going on with it.
He had something hollering over there.
Mark Green's cornfield, a whole different subject on its own.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Mark likes
It
to
is.
walk up on them and then go over to to Creepy Mountain, go look for them, and then they're about 5 foot right behind them. They're 5 foot right there. Well, I'm gonna take y'all on Creepy. Well,
We seen
right over
something
you.
whenever we was there, me and Flat Rock.
Did you?
They ain't that bad here too. I mean, they
At
can come
once.
right on you. You never know it.
Oh, right here.
Squirrel.
Yeah.
Squirrel. Y'all saw something at Mark Green's? You and Flat Rock?
Yes. Something black was out there around the
Okay,
cornfield.
I don't know what it was, but yes, we did see.
Really?
I seen it and told Mark and told him the area, and Flat Rock said he seen something in the same spot, and we both seen it after we were standing there talking out of the over to the left side of the cornfield. If you was facing it.
They was in between a little area in that corn patch. There was something real solid black up in there. I mean, I ain't saying it was booger. All I'm saying it was solid black in there. And a little while later, they wasn't nothing there. That's what I seen.
Well,
Well, it was right there where the Tall Boy Trail is. Is on that back side where that Tall Boy Trail is.
The dog cut loose over here.
the same place you've seen other stuff before, though, Mark.
Oh,
It would be kind of in the same place you seen something.
The spiders is barking over here.
What is Joey talking about? What is Joe talking
I
about?
gotta get up.
Okay.
You
Joe,
don't
I heard something about barking spiders.
That's them over here. They were all barking.
What did he say?
He said something about barking spiders. He may trying to butt grunt one up.
spiders. This, this guy,
And the
Well,
thunder.
I keep partying down there,
Don't
don't
blame it on the dog.
You get old people, things just happen. You don't have no.
the chat is going completely sideways too. I've lost total control over the show.
And Mitzi
Oh,
didn't
man.
make any little outings like that. I know she's talking. That's what happened.
All I want to know was that dust cloud blew up under anybody's chair.
But the dog this time.
Randy was supposed to be kind of something. I don't
Oh
know.
my god.
What is Bear?
Oh, he's
Go
killing me.
ahead. Go ahead.
He's killing me.
Oh, man.
I've lost complete control over the show and the chat. This is look, Vic,
Better be one of your top rated ones you ever had.
shut up.
Control.
What
Hey,
is
seriously.
Haywood?
No.
What?
Richard's the
Oh, there's
only one I
Haywood
know
again.
will go on air for just a bird fart or something over there. You'll have 65 people listening for it. You got the drawing power. You just hang with it and don't hang up on people. You have all kind of people.
I'm
Oh,
Yeah, 60 people just listen and say, y'all hear that? That's the truth, ain't it, Spencer?
uh, y'all are fuckers. Okay.
No, I feel like one, mate.
Oh,
Get back to that flute you need to be playing for him.
Kind of like listening for tree knocks on storm.
Don't
Right, right.
Oh, come on.
Oh, Lord.
hey, all kidding aside, I'm going to say something about Flat Rock a minute. I've never been to his place, but I can count a bunch of people on my hands that has been to his place and has either seen boogers or heard vocalizations or had other crazy stuff happen. There's a couple of them on video right there, but there's more that I've heard on videos, and some of I've talked to personally in my yard and went to them. If Flat Rock has boogers, even though I haven't been there, there's too much action going on in one place.
Yes.
And there's not a person on this earth going to sit down there and hoax somebody month after month after month after month.
No.
No,
And
Here.
I'm going to leave that
No
right
hoax.
there.
No.
No hoaxer.
And
It's for real.
Mark, I'm gonna tell you, I've been dealing with these damn things for over 20 years. I've had way more encounters than I care to even have. And just by talking with Flat Rock, he checks too many of the boxes on things that he's told me, and I've heard the man say, I've got no doubt in Flat Rock at all. Nothing. Not a word, y'all. I think Flat Rock's going through a lot of the things that I've went through right here. And that's, I guarantee you take that to the bank. People look at it any way they want to. But I guarantee you Flat Rock's got boogers right there, just like what I got right here.
if
I mean, this guy can say what he wants. I mean, I'm gonna stand tall. I'm not gonna lower myself to where he's gonna want to go with this, but I'm good. He can talk. I ain't got no problem with it. I stand tall, so I'm good.
if you've ever experienced the Bigfoot phenomenon in real, it starts out as a handful of a lot of things where you're like, I don't understand that, and I don't know what's going on, and you start to think you're going crazy, and you're like questioning yourself, all the stuff you experienced and everything, and then something happens, and you go, I have no way to explain that, or I think it might be Bigfoot, whatever, but you can't prove it. And the hardest thing in the world is proving this subject anyway, because every time you think you can back them into a corner and like prove it, you end up getting made a fool of. Some of this stuff though it's just, you got to know the people, and you got to like come to a point where you're like, I believe this person or I don't believe this person. A lot of it comes down to like personal interpretation and stuff that you've experienced before, and that's how you read into it. And actually, I was talking to Mark Green earlier, and we probably need to do a show on like people talking about hoaxing and everything, because, man, y'all, just being honest, I don't know anybody that is so willing to hoax a Bigfoot thing that they're going to stay on your property for 2 or 3 weeks in a monkey outfit while sitting on stilts, waiting for the perfect moment for them to like do the exact thing. I'm just telling you, everybody is really quick to jump on the hoaxing thing, but a lot of us that have experienced this stuff, it is so hard to prove. You have to have the cameras rolling and the reporters going at the exact right moment. And even if you had the new Patterson Gimlin film right now, people would be like, oh, that's AI. Or, oh, you did something to mess with that. You're still going to have that. There is no way for us to prove. The easiest thing is, hey, if you want to experience some of this stuff, you want to see if it's real or not, get in touch with some of the people that I'm showing on the channel and everything, and talk to them yourselves. Go see the area. Go start experiencing it yourself. And if you think it's fake after that, fine. I know what I've seen. All of these on this show know.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
He come at me because I took up for some friends. He was accusing friends of doing that video, that thermal, and he was calling the other people the hoaxers, and I wasn't going to tolerate that, And I mean, it's just they come after me all they want, but they ain't gonna come after my friends, and and that's why he's attacking me, because I stood up for my friends. So he don't bother me. He don't.
Flat Rock. Anybody that knows you, I mean, we know you. We know what you're talking about. Still telling you though, that was some crazy stuff. That's like getting crazy in the Bigfoot world, and getting crazy in the Bigfoot world happens a lot. And y'all, we have got to start bringing more compassion and like friendliness and understanding
right here
to the Bigfoot world.
Yeah.
So see it, guys in chat, this went way beyond calling somebody a hoaxer. This got into the danger area. So, watch who you talking to, guys. Seriously, watch who you talking to.
Guys, look, here's my deal. If I see something that somebody posts, just like I saw what Flat Rock had, I saw the post about the thermal and this and that. I looked at it. I'll just be honest with you. I wasn't there. I wasn't there when the thermal was taken. And me looking at it on my phone, I wasn't even looking at it on a computer, but on my phone, I looked at it and I'm going, okay, I'm looking at it from a different perspective. I may agree with it. I may not. I may look at it and go, well, I'm not seeing, and I've got no problem with saying, hey, Flat Rock, buddy, I don't see what y'all saw. But in my mind, it's just like hearing the audio. If you're not there hearing it with your actual ears, it's totally different. So I'll be honest with somebody and say, brother, I'm not seeing it. I'm not doubting what y'all saw, but for me, it's pareidolia, or it's this, or it's that, or I may agree with you.
Yep.
But I'm damn sure not going to go, oh, y'all faked it. Y'all, this is bullshit. Right. It's not. No, we can agree to disagree. I'm not going to belittle nobody in any way.
Well, just
the thing of losing the threatening people or anything else, it's not worth it.
Bigfoot, but that doesn't make you a hoaxer.
No, it sure doesn't.
It's the principle of how to handle yourself. This community is already getting enough outside pressures and whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
Amen.
And all kinds of things. This community should be more minded to stick together. And I know people think, well, if you put this and this up, that's destroying our credibility or whatever. But like I said, people ain't there when stuff happens. They could have been here the last 2 days and might have reassured them they was thinking wrong. Right. I know for a fact if you present stuff under influence, it's kicked out of, no matter what it is. If you're under influence, if somebody takes it further than that, there's no credibility there if you're under influence of something. So, a lot of people don't call people out because they just let things slide and they roll off their back. But it's a lot of other things that get nasty about this whole situation too, that nobody goes there because they don't want to be a butt to the community and the people in the community.
Well, I mean,
you don't have to agree, but you can keep your mouth shut if you don't. Say you peace. You ain't got to act the way that they acted towards Flat Rock. That was just ridiculous.
Right, walk on, move on.
That's right.
Nancy, you seen that text? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Danger.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Well, if the thing is, we are here one more night. We are losing Jody tonight.
Yeah, maybe.
In a little bit.
Calling sick tomorrow.
Is there something that you would like us to try? Anybody?
Go to the killing.
Yeah,
we're gonna spend a lot of time tonight nowhere in that killing zone area and see what we can't capture.
Well, first off, I want all y'all to be safe. That's my main priority. Everybody be safe. But now look, if y'all can get Joe to take one for the team and do what Spencer will not do, is pack his underwear with peanut butter and stand up.
I got a whole jar.
Greg, what kind of company you started?
Let one for
I'll
the
get
team,
Benji to
Joe.
hold him down.
Yes.
What, crunchy or creamy?
Yeah, that's right.
Y'all take a cell phone out there and just hold it up and play this whole show and be like, they're looking for you. Just come on, dude. They might be
Exactly.
start calling out about it.
We ain't been here in 2 years. A lot of that bone stuff is probably gonna be all gone.
Yep.
Yeah.
But what if it isn't?
But what if it's some new stuff there?
Then you're in trouble. Then you know you hit something.
Well, it may be, but
Pat, I do
there's
have
a lot of
something
stuff
I want
we
you
look
to
at
try.
that to be gone.
Well, that'll be a good time to check everything because right now deer season's ain't in, and so that will eliminate deer hunters throwing that out. Even though I know enough deer hunters throwing it out,
Yeah,
we know that, but that would help eliminate that right now.
Well, guys, the other thing that I want to throw into this, anybody that tells you point blank they're the expert, if they label themselves expert, you might as well back up because there's nobody an expert on these things. I don't care who they are.
That's
I
right.
agree 100%.
No.
right.
I agree.
If we can't operate like as a team, as a family, try and find an answer to this stuff, you ain't gonna get nowhere. We've got to share like information. We've got to stop and listen to everybody else and see what they're saying. If you can't get beyond that, if you think you know all the answers and the other people are full of shit, you're not gonna get nowhere. Just saying.
Guys,
See,
I watch people in this field. What time I've been hooked up with some of these really big folks, and Coonbo Baker's one of them. Coonbo, from when I got hooked up with Coonbo several years ago, what he believed these things were to where he's at on it now. I've watched several of these researchers that the more information and the more stuff you see and witness yourself, it changes it. And everybody's like, if you don't go with it and accept, well, okay, this is what I believe to start with, but I had this happen, this happen, this happen. You got to have an open mind to it. You've got to be willing to accept even what you've seen. I mean, there was times when I thought, well, okay, it's a big damn monkey out here or something like that. But the things that I've seen myself, witnessed, it don't make sense. And I've had to go different avenues and go, well, okay, well, wait a minute. If it's just this, that don't make sense. And you listen to other people and listen to their experiences and take them at face value and go with that. You have to be open-minded, guys. It is.
That's right.
Just like you said about your boogers do certain monkey traits. Maybe
Yep.
that's what they were, back in the day was crossed to. Mark may not hear that here or there at his place where they've ever done anything like that.
Yep.
Maybe a cross between something else.
Just like Greg
That's the
said.
first thing I heard at Greg's whenever I went out on the porch was during the day a monkey call.
Right.
You
That's
don't
what I
hear that
hear,
out of
yes.
them very much. So, I don't know. Me and Greg talked about it a little bit. Me and Mark talked about it.
I need some
And
recordings
we'll
of some of
continue
those
to talk
calls.
about it.
I'll get them to you, Jody. There are parts of the country that if you go and you do knocks, you will get knocks back. There are parts of the country, if you go and you do a call and you do it the right way, you will get a call back. There are parts of the country that you go to, if you do that same call, instead of getting a call back, you'll get a knock or a whistle or a rock clap or whatever.
Right.
We're trying to compare notes. Nobody has the answers. Nobody is 100% right on this.
Right.
That's as honest as we can be about this.
Well, start documenting it and see what happens,
Exactly.
That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to compare notes.
I mean,
And that's another reason I like to bring the researchers over here. While these creatures are here, you bring the researchers here to where they can get some answers.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna go out there and get the answers for nobody. I ain't no researcher. I don't investigate. I let the researchers come over here to do it.
You don't have to.
I ain't no
I don't have
researcher
to prove anything to You already know.
Already.
Exactly what Flat Rock just said, guys. I know exactly what Flat Rock, the perspective that he's in right now of you're dealing with these things. And if you go like I did for a long time, nobody to talk to about it, nobody to share it with, it was in the know, or other than just my dad and Alan and a couple of others that hunted with me, was in these woods. You know, I didn't have nobody to talk to about this. And then when I finally did start talking to like y'all and you know, a couple of these shows that I've done, when I was apprehensive about inviting people that I'd met here to my area to come to my man cave, to come and me show them around. And I told everybody, I don't know when these things are gonna show themselves, or when they're gonna make an audio, or when you're gonna hear them or find something. I have no clue. It's just I'm stuck here in the middle of it, and you know, we have stuff all the time, but it may be a break. You may not have nothing for a month, and then you may have something every day.
Right.
Just like Sherry, Misty, Donna, Caitlin, Hunter, Mr. Jim, Misty, we had something every night. Y'all were here every night.
Right.
And then, you know, they left on Saturday. Well, then, you know, just a couple of days later is when Joe and Miss Pat got here. We really didn't have hardly anything.
No.
And I don't know. But for me, just like with Flat Rock, and this is I've made this big loop to get back to my original point. Flat Rock, brother, I know what you're talking about, because when you finally do have people show up, that they've got somebody that can say, hey, look, we went to his place, and you damn right, we had shit happen that we can't explain. We may not have seen one, but by God, we heard the screaming. We heard this. We found that. We found this. Y'all, I don't go stomping around in the woods out here looking for tracks and shit. I'm not a researcher. I just happen to live where these damn things are. And they aggravate me all the time, I guess, to the point where I'm at now as far as instigating shit toward me. And I have the encounters that they choose to let me have. I don't instigate them at all. I'm just trying to live here and get along with these damn things. But you get a validation by you have somebody that came to your place that can say, yes, that man he's dealing with this. This is what we saw, and look at this. And damn, if that don't pick a weight off your shoulders, it's like you're toting a damn heavy ass load, and you've just had these other people step under there and help you tote it.
And
right,
if it's okay with y'all, we'll end it on this. There is no experts. The best we can do is just say, this is what we're seeing. This is what we're experiencing. We don't know what it is. Like if we could prove it, we would. We're trying to capture evidence. We're not saying that everything is Bigfoot. We're not saying that everything we capture is Bigfoot. We are just trying to show the general public, anybody that will pay attention, this is what's going on. If you want to come see it, you can come see it. If you want to question it, you can question it. We're trying to be as honest as we can, just normal human beings. This is what's going on. This is what we think about it. This is what we see. And we're putting it out there for everybody. We're not trying to be super popular or anything like that. We're just trying to put out there what we're experiencing and letting everybody see it. That's the best we can do.
Spencer, another thing I'm going to throw out here that I want people to realize, there ain't nobody in this group trying to make a damn penny off of none of this. Nothing.
Nope.
We've got nothing, absolutely nothing to gain, only shit to lose.
Well, we are with Jody. We done figured that one out.
We're gonna pimp her out.
Yeah.
We're going to buy Jody's CDs and just call black.
Yeah, the Bigfoot calls.
Yes, Mark.
Would be flooded.
Yeah.
That idea would be flooded.
It'd be like night and hell game
where
call.
you wouldn't be able to go.
And it costs a lot to get out and do this. You know, I mean, out of pocket, it doesn't do this.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. We've nothing comes easy when nothing comes free.
Well, I mean, it costs you time and time away from your family and buying your food and all that.
Ooh.
Kind of, guys, this is a YouTube show for free, like a lot of the YouTube,
Dirt cool down.
Just go under the key.
and it just costs everybody money to like go and do this and everything. We're just trying to share with y'all what we see and what we do. You can take it or leave it.
Right. We were reaching out. We was able to, or some people working came, and we had friends that invited us up, and we were able to sit around and talk with them on their experiences and stuff live to us, and we've heard them talk. But meeting these folks is, if you can get out and meet folks, you need to get out and meet folks.
Yeah.
It's a
You
whole
A lot of
thing.
stuff they have on air, they may make a world of difference when you meet them.
We met each other 3 years ago, this group, and we like each other.
Yeah.
We had fun here. If nothing had happened last night, don't matter. We still had a
Yep.
blast.
We had fun going to eat with Flat Rock yesterday, just having a good old time riding around and just whatever. I mean, it's just what we did. It was, going around with Greg all over his deer leases and, and
that was fun.
down there with Mark and Rebecca going to eat a bite and just getting out and talking Bigfoot stuff and whatever.
Meeting their families.
it
Seeing the
was
families
really
and
cool.
everything.
It's
getting to meet
remarkable.
Flat
Flat
Rock's
Rock's
mom.
mother had
Yeah.
an hour chat with us last night, and it's off the hook.
First time she's ever talked about it.
She didn't do that when Cowboy was here, because she probably want to that in her face. But
There ain't no talk to Cowboy.
Are you blaming Cowboy or?
no, I'm just saying we were here for the same opportunity that time too. But
Hey.
Flat Rock didn't set it up or whatever, but she didn't come out then.
No, she wasn't ready to go.
Right.
Y'all gonna have to cut Cowboy some slack. I saw where he was going and schooling like elementary schools.
Yeah,
Oh,
I seen
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I seen that. Yeah.
He's there with April, man. That's
Now he's
there
got
are
all them
people.
kids peeing in their bed if he tells them stories.
Cowboy.
I'm supporting you, Cowboy. See?
Yeah.
I got you, buddy.
Cowboy, we wish he was here. He's the best.
I even got your flip flop.
Most real people out there on YouTube. He's just showing you the raw stuff, and he's even saying, "I don't know if I believe this or not."
That's right.
Cowboy
Well,
is
this place right here made his wife a believer when she was with Joe and I.
Them, I guess.
Yeah, there was the four of us together that came and camped at Flat Rocks. No one had ever camped here before besides females, and this place made her a believer.
that's right, Pat. That's right,
Mhm.
and Pat. That's right.
Patrick, amen, Patrick.
All right, y'all. We're gonna jump off here. People that we support, like Mark and Rebecca Green, Cedar Creek Bottoms. Go on Facebook, check out Flat Rock Wood Boogers Facebook page.
Mhm.
Mark and Larry with Sawdust Beast, all that kind of stuff. Vic Cundiff with Dogman Encounters. Who am I missing? Discover
Bud
Sasquatch,
and Angie. Bud and Angie.
Squatching Cowboy.
Squatch and Cowboy.
Hey,
Bud and
Spencer.
Angie.
Yes, Bud and Angie.
Spencer.
Bud and Angie's got their own show. They're going around, not necessarily all on Bigfoot, but they got their own show they do.
Fun Adventures with Bud and Angie.
Yeah, Spencer.
Yes.
Look, check out that comment from Bigfoot Littlefoot, man. Golly. You need to be finding out where he's at and how big a group we could get.
If y'all have off-road vehicles or want to camp some, come to Rush, Kentucky, out in the woods. Holy crap. Bigfoot, Littlefoot, talk to you. Oh, no.
Yeah.
7,000 acres.
Wow.
Oh, no. Bigfoot, Littlefoot, brother, we need to talk to you.
What about a meet and greet?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
It's all,
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
there's camps and runs are side by sides and four wheelers all everywhere.
Kentucky. Yes.
Where's that at?
Everybody, thank you very much for everything.
No,
I
it's
do all
in
this stuff.
Kentucky. It's a great big. It's world.
Okay.
It's world renowned.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for having me on.
Yes.
Thanks,
Good to
guys.
see everybody.
Thanks for having
Once
us.
again, big love,
Thank you
everybody.
all. It was nice to meet you. Jody, Bud,
Will do.
Angie.
Nice
We'll
seeing
do-
you.
We'll do a part 2 and we'll bring in all of the videos and audio that they were.
Sounds good.
Yeah, me and Angie Loon's gonna have over 100 hours of audio recorders.
We're
Yes.
gonna have some
We
listening
gotta,
to
we,
do.
it's gonna
I
take
have about the same.
That's going to take you some time to go through that. Yes.
That's right.
All right, y'all. Well, anyway, this is us saying good night.
Thanks,
Thank you. Everybody stay backstage for a minute.
Bye.
Y'all. See y'all. Y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Squirrel.
Hey, y'all. Hey, Spencer. We're swapped around again.
Huh?
We're swapped around again.
Yep. I know you do it on purpose.